Welcome, everyone, to episode 55 of the CPA-fol podcast. We're starting right off the rip with Brickmasterharri. I figured I'm not going to keep any of you waiting. It's been 2 weeks since our last episode, and I'm starting 2025 off with a bang, to say the least. Because I had Firebird Bricks last week. This week, Brickmasterharri. I feel like who could top it next week?
You gotta have another live creator. Probably yourself, because Firebird's long form. I'm shorts.
Yeah, long shorts live. Hey,
yeah.
Hey, at some point, I'm trying to have Sean from Makeup on here, but he's a busy guy. So
that'd be great. Yeah.
But hey, right off the bat,
to ACOB, because those guys kill it.
Scott Davis, 14 months.
Wow.
Can you believe that? A 14-month member?
Man,
that's crazy.
That's what's up.
Awesome to have you here, Scott. So if any of you read the description, I don't know how many of you read the description of my videos, but if you did, you got a little tease of what we're going to talk about today. So I know 2024, a lot has happened for you, but I'm trying to not focus on much of any of the extreme moments that have happened for you recently, but more so just trying to get an understanding of the whole of your content creator and honestly Lego career, if you will.
Yeah.
So like I said, if any of you came from the Instagram story, I feel like we've talked a lot over the past year and a half or so, but it's just like up to those points. And before that, I don't know too much. So I'm excited to learn about stuff before that.
I'm excited to talk about it. My favorite subject, me, of course. So, I'm just kidding. I always say that, but my favorite topic is Lego for sure.
And then you, right below.
And no, and then it's Brittany, my fiance, yes. Lego, me.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. And I did see Brick Reporter was hopping in earlier. Great to see you here. I know you have probably your biggest fan. Would you assume?
I don't know. We got to ask him. I don't know. It's hard to beat.
It's
hard to beat Firebird and you as my biggest fans, of course. But maybe he's in there.
Was Tiago your biggest fan, or did we ever get to that, or just straight up no?
Shout out to Tiago, but he's part of my lore to where I'm at now. So I'm sure we will get to the Tiago #2 fan lore.
We have to.
We'll get there. Yeah.
We have to. Yeah. So once again, I just want to welcome everyone in chat so far. We've got 11 viewers. Make sure you like the stream if you haven't already. Of course, this is going to be a very interesting discussion today, a little bit of a biography, if you will.
Yeah, so and then also I want to lay down some stuff I've learned about like video making and shorts and stuff, because that's a great way to grow. And whoever asks me how to grow and everything, that's the first thing I say is like do shorts. So we'll talk about that too.
Speaking of, I totally forgot, because more often than not, my titles aren't as like pointed as the title of this live stream of this podcast today. So the title is, you're just a shorts Lego creator. Yeah. And I feel like we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but there's probably something you've faced in your content creator career. And so we'll talk about that. Like you said, shorts, great way to grow, but then how you kind of not overcame that, but diversified, I guess is maybe a better way.
Shorts discrimination, and I've overcome it with long form. So we'll get to that.
And you're here today. How amazing is that?
Yes.
So if you're here from Harry's crew and you're not normally around, make sure you like the stream, make sure you subscribe, because I like to chat with other people in the community, learn more about them, and hopefully in the process, you all learn about them. So stick around if that's something you're interested in, because it's something that I'm trying to go through this year with evolving the podcast in that direction. So starting off at the very beginning, wonderful place to start, of course, your Lego childhood, which I am very envious of you, because you have so many, it seems like you have so many childhood videos of Lego. Are you the oldest?
No, youngest of two older siblings, 2 older sisters. So that was interesting.
Nice.
I mean, I'll take it from here. Thank you. So growing up with 2 sisters, it was interesting because I didn't have anyone to play Lego with. So it was always this helped me kind of carve out my own hobbies in life. I would always pick hobbies. I'm a huge supporter of hobbies. Everyone needs one. My new video coming out, I'm talking about that. But
nice.
it really helped me find individualistic hobbies to do, nothing that really depended on other people. And Lego was something that was fun, although I always had to be creative in my mind, to play with myself. And then besides that, I would do like Littlest Pet Shop with my sister or Webkins because, okay, she wanted to do that. And then to play with someone, I had to do that. Although, shout out to my sister Annalise, she did want to play like video games with me, the Lego ones, and that was always fun. But yeah, my dad for the videos, my dad always carried around his old what is it? Not VHS, VD camcorder, with the little VHS tapes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's super vintage. So
Yeah.
anyways, he always filmed those during Christmas, birthdays, everything. So I've been going through, it's a long process to digitize these old tapes. And I've been finding like all this gold. And I always try to weave them into my videos because I've been thinking about it. It's something cool. I would love. And I was going to talk to you about this, to start like a website or a file where people submit their videos of old Lego stores, like of them as kids or just old Lego in general. Cause I love finding the vintage Lego stores. Just the vibe in there is like a whole nother level. So it would be cool to have a place to, import all of that from everyone. Besides the point, I love looking back and just seeing how I was as a kid with the sets that are in my collection now. And it's just a really cool retrospective to look back and just compare to how I am today with Lego. So that's how I have all those clips. Shout out to my dad.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And
yeah,
it's, for me, it's, unfortunately, I never had that. I was the third of 4. And I feel like, were you getting a lot of those gifts or a lot of those Lego sets at Christmas and birthdays? Is that also part of the reason why they were being recorded as well?
Yeah, it was mostly the bigger events that my dad did, but still he would film around the house. And we're moving here and we've grown up in this house, and I see videos of this room just with different Legos on here, or Lego, oh man, it's such a trip to see, and I'm so fortunate for that. And I actually bought the same version of my dad's old camera, and I filmed my engagement, my proposal on there. I've been filming around the house like to now, what it looks like now, because in the future I want to compare in the same lens, right? And I want to incorporate that into some more videos. I don't know how, specifically like the vintage feel. Firebird Bricks, Caleb, he did a whole video about like 2007 Christmas time, and he used a lot of those clips. And so anyways, it's a cool concept I like.
Yeah, no, that would be in that video that you make eventually.
Yeah.
So with your Lego childhood, what were the kind of sets you were getting for Christmas, birthday, or buying on your own? How did that last for? You said you were to play with yourself a lot. Was that like a thing at school? What was that like?
Man, yeah, at school, well, okay, let's say this. So I never really bought my own sets. I mean, unless like later in life I did when I had some money, but I never got a what do you call when your parents give you money? Allowance.
Yep.
Never got allowance. So my parents, it's like if I went to the store with them, I would always want a set, and most of the time they wouldn't give it to me, but if I did, it would just be a battle pack or something. And then some days, if I broke my arm, like one day I fell off a swing, broke my arm during a camping trip, my parents took me to Target and was like, pick anything you want. So I got a Ninjago, the serpentine like car with the tail and stuff. And so those memories stick out. Same with Christmas, or excuse me, any event that allowed me to pick a set was super fun. But Christmas, I always circled stuff in magazines. My grandma surprised me with, one big set. And then my aunt, uncle, people would buy me kind of smaller, like $40-$50 ones at the time. And the big one was always like $100-$200. That would be like the big one for the year. And then other than that, Bionicle was a great thing. I had this local Lego store to me, and I try to find all these old photos now. I'm sure we all have a classic memory of like this store I remember going to, or this feel I had when I went to a store. Yeah. There was one store that had everything. I remember going in, and it had like a little corner with all the glow in the dark things, so it like lights were turned off with the LED, the black light in there. And then they had a Lego section with all the OG Batman stuff, and all these old themes. And that's why I love old themes. I just get such a cozy, warm feeling, Yeah. So anyways, I ended up playing with myself a lot. And at school, the big thing was like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes Lego. I had a couple buddies who did Lego with me, but usually I was the Lego guy. Like all the teachers knew me. I went to a private school, so pretty small comparatively. And everyone knew me. My original email, I want to clear this up. My Gmail in 5th grade was Lego Master Harri. So that's how I got the name
Nice.
Brickmaster Harri. But I wasn't inspired by the show Brickmaster or Lego Masters, because people are called Brickmasters on that. I had it first.
Because it didn't even exist
Didn't.
back then. It wasn't even a thing.
So I kind of own that name. I'm not gonna lie. So that's kind of the lore around my name and how I started with Lego.
Yeah.
Shout out to my grandma. She really, hooked me on it too, and a lot of great memories with her and Lego.
Yeah, that's awesome. I kind of in a flipped aspect, I was fortunate enough to have. I feel like most of my friends, definitely my close friends, were into Lego as well. So at school and all that kind of stuff, we were able to. They brought their sets. I brought maybe one of mine. So, and I was told this story a couple times, but one of my friends had the Bounty Hunter Pursuit set.
Wow.
And so in 2nd grade, he brought it in. We'd play with it at recess during the winter when you don't really go outside as many times. So I remember really good memories like that. And like you said, the nostalgia it's so real. It's so real with those kind of classic sets.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It sparks a lot of my interest, and we'll get into it. But the topics now that I like to stick to for long form, at least, is talking a lot about adult fans in the space now. So these are all things that we vary on. We all have different memories growing up. Or if I'm interested in people who didn't grow up with a Lego, like what are their warmest moments with Lego as an adult? Like are they making their moments where 20 years down the line, they'll be like, oh, when I was 20, I walked into Target and I found this set. Man, I wish I could go back to that.
Yeah.
Or is that like the same feeling we would have back in 05 going to the Lego store? Or how does that work? I don't know. Interesting.
No, that's a really interesting idea. And well, like you said, it's hard in these kind of videos or these kind of live streams episodes to not like go into the future.
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep that at a low, because we'll get into like your live stream and how you come up with these really thought-provoking ideas. So we'll definitely get to that. Yeah. But going into when you were a kid, played with Lego a lot, did you have a dark age? Of course, the age-old question for any AFOL.
Yeah, I did have a dark age, although I actually didn't think about this until now. But all throughout my dark age, I still had all of my Lego displayed on some shelves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's really trippy. I just realized that. So I think that's why it also helped, because all throughout high school, I never really brought people. We would all go to my house, but we'd never hang out in my room. It's like 10 by 10, so it's not super big. We would never be up here. And I remember, that's crazy, because I have all these old videos. All the Bionicle are on here. And it's funny too, because I've done a couple different hobbies. One of them is called cardistry, where it's like shuffling cards, really cool. It's like skateboarding with a deck of cards, basically. And I would do live streams. I would just like hang out with people. It's a really social thing. And all the time I'd post videos of different things I create. All the Bionicles are in the back, all my Legos. Like I had, buildable R2-D2, a big space shuttle, all this stuff. And everyone would always clown me for it. Like, oh, this guy's the Lego guy. And it's just always been a part of me. So the dark age was basically high school, junior high school, and then a little bit of college. And then I got back into it when I met Brittany, coincidentally.
So what did the trick? What brought you back into purchasing Lego on the regular? Was it tangentially with your content creation, or was it like getting one of those more 18+ sets to build with
no,
Brittany, or
definitely not. It was just I've always loved creating videos, first of all. I've always loved filming whatever I do, whether it's for anyone who knows what a kendama is. Like I used to be a sponsored like kendama player, so I'd post a lot of videos there. I'd go to events, I'd do cardistry. Even if it's surfing, skating, I love to film my progression, and I like to think I get pretty good at something over time. And that's what I was kind of known for high school, honestly, because I would just pick up the most random things, and I would get clowned for doing a couple things I did. But at the end of the day, confidence in myself and just that perseverance of getting better at something every day. That's what a great hobby is, And when I found Lego, again, it was Christmas 2021, I think, and my dad, we went to a store it was Christmas Eve. We went to Target to pick up something, and then I just saw this Millennium Falcon from 2019, and I was like, wow, that would be sick. That'd be sick to get. And he's like, well, I didn't get you anything yet, but like him and my mom get stuff for me, but it's my
Yeah.
mom. So he was like, "Oh man, if this would make you happy, that would make us happy because we always used to get you one." And so he
Yeah.
got me one, and it was extremely overpriced too. It was even more expensive, I think. Maybe it was at Barnes and Nobles. But I
Oh
opened
wow.
it, built it, and then after that, I got the AT-AT, from 2020, and then I got
Yep.
a couple more sets, and it just, slow dive into craziness there. Yeah.
So then you said every time you get into a new hobby or get back into an old hobby, it's always kind of revolving to some extent around filming it, whether it's making a video to post or just making something to
It's
make.
always posted.
It's always to post it.
I
Okay.
always posted on my main account, my private account. It used to just be my main, and I had 5,000 followers, and back in the day, I felt like I really was kind of not pioneering, but it was back when Instagram, it was like 2011, posting these things, and it was really young at the
Yeah.
point. For different hobbies I did, and I would always post progression, and it was really fun, that social aspect of learning together. And I loved I would post at night, wake up to all these comments,
Yeah.
like 12, right? But people are like,
Yeah.
"That's sick," or "That was so cool." So with Lego, when I started posting, I started getting sets because I think of posting as a different form of play, basically. Because at the time, I didn't allow myself to swoosh my sets around. I just couldn't do it. But building and making funny videos, TikTok-esque at the time,
Just
TikTok
because you
Lego.
felt like it was too juvenile,
Yeah,
or
yeah. Like I talk about in my videos, a lot of us, when we get into it as an adult, or get out of our dark age, it's hard for us to, look at something and tell ourselves, like, you have to accept. Maybe your mind would think, as a kid, I used to just play with this
yeah.
thing. I used to do this. But as an adult, I just can't for some reason. It's not socially acceptable, especially behind closed doors, because what you do behind closed doors is the real version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
And especially behind closed doors, it was hard for me to look at something and then come to terms with, am I really doing this right now? Am I really looking at a TIE fighter and around my room? And eventually I got to that point, and now it's like, cool. Like, I'll always joke with my fiance. I get a new Bionicle, and
Yeah.
we're talking on the phone, and she asked me a question, and now I'm like answering no, just like, no, I can't do that, or whatever. And I just have fun with it in my daily
Yeah.
life, and that's why Lego's awesome.
That's
to
cool.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's an interesting topic, of course. I'm sure all of us in the chat grapple with possibly on a daily basis. Like, am I actually going to play with this thing that I bought? And at least for me, I find myself, I want to. Like, I genuinely want to play with my Bionicle, play with my Lego ships or cars or whatever. And I don't know, there's just like, when I think about doing it, there's just, it's probably the same thing that you're describing. It's just a different facet of, like, I have this roadblock of, well, okay, what do I do? Like, am I just gonna let it fly the ship around? Am I gonna pretend like I'm driving this car across the table?
Right.
And that kind of gets into like the lack of imagination. And then I will say, over Christmas, I had my brother's kids. They were all in the house playing with Bionicle, and it was really funny. It was 2-year-old up to 2-year-old, 4-year-old, and like 6-year-old.
Wow.
And so them, like, seeing the things they gravitated towards, and seeing their, of course, imagination blossoming and being able to make up. It was funny. My nephew, he continuously wanted to take the wheels off of the Speed Champion. Like, no matter what, it was getting in a crash, and the wheels were falling off every single time.
Man, kids do the funniest things. It's just, but it also, this is an interesting topic or question to ask yourself, is how, because looking at a Bionicle for the first time again, I'm looking at it, and how did I play with this as a kid, especially the ones without play features, like the little swivel joints? Like, how did I imagine this? Because using it as an example again, so you see this thing. What did I do as a kid? Did I actually walk the legs like this? Was I like, okay, I'm going to walk? Or was I just like, I'm walking? It just, how did my mind work as a kid? What did I accept as true? Was I super detailed with how I did it? When I talked, did I move the head up and down? Do kids care about that? But maybe in his head, or her head, sorry, I forget who you're talking about, were they thinking, okay, the wheels need to come off because in the story, or they just thought, I like how it attaches? There's so many things you think about. Yeah.
No, it kind of, in my mind, sort of reignited, like, all right, what what's possible. Like, what can we do? What's fun? Yes, and in some respects, it made me look forward to having kids of my own and sort of trying to bring that imagination back to me and to Lego, and hopefully reigniting some of that imagination, which I will be looking forward to.
Oh, it's gonna be the best.
And then having like an excuse to play with Lego again. That'll be fun.
Most definitely. I can't wait to have kids, and I'm gonna be the one that's having fun playing with Lego, you know, and they're gonna be the ones kind of watching me. But again, I think that's my dad. I remember he would play with me, or yeah, there's just so many interesting things of childhood that we latch onto, and then we kind of think about today. But yeah, I love thinking about all that.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a whole discussion and I've thought about this once or twice of like, I feel like a lot of our kids, not our, like I say our collective, like CPA-fol's children's, tend to not be into Lego as much just because they have so much at their disposal, and it's almost like, well, yeah, this is my dad's hobby. This isn't my hobby because I can more or less go play with any of these whenever I want. So it's not special. Yep. Like for me, I had I probably had more than the average kid just because that was like the one thing I always wanted to buy with my birthday and Christmas money.
Yeah.
But like the X-Wing, the Naboo Starfighter, and Jabba's barge. It's like you have these things, you've worked hard for them, they are yours, as opposed to, oh yeah, my dad has this Mandalorian Starfighter, so I'll go play with that, but then I'll go play with my other stuff because that's
I think there's a big thing for kids about being themselves. Well, at a certain age, I would say, but about kind of not rebelling, but kind of doing their own thing. And you don't want to be under your parents your entire life, especially as like a teen. You're not going to be like, well, my parents do this, so I'm just going to keep doing it for myself. Yeah. You want to do your own branch out. So I totally get that. And I got to be careful. I want to definitely, like, if I have kids, just be like, no, this is my thing. And then they're going to want to get into it because I'm like, no, this is my thing. You can't do it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely could go either way with that one, though, because then they could be like, fine, I'll go do this because I'm doing my own thing. Yeah. But, I mean, if you think about more often than not, an CPA-fol has a dark age. So I feel like when it comes to kids, at some point they're going to fall out. It's just a matter of, will they come back and that be something that they're interested, whether it's due to nostalgia or cultural trends or whatever. Because I know, like with you and me, maybe more so with me, because it sounded like you pretty much always had your Bionicle with you. And I guess to some extent I did too, but I just was never into like actually buying it in my dark ages. But coming back to Bionicle with huge nostalgia has been amazing, has been awesome.
I would say, and we can even segue this, but getting back into Lego lore, or even the sets I missed out in Star Wars, I'm sure a lot of us, well, first of all, let me also say, like, shout out to all these people in the chat. There's a lot of fun people. I know, Scott, Hive, MKM, Clever Pig, Cooper, all these people. I know a lot of these people are Star Wars fans too. So coming back after your dark age and you say, what have I missed out on? That's I would argue 50% of the fun is going back, watching all the reviews, watching all the worst to first that M&R makes about all the Lego years and being like, do I agree? Is that true? Whoa, that set came out? That's crazy, right? Yeah. There's so much fun in that. And that's why I'm really into Bionicle, because after even a whole year of just being into it again, there's so much lore. There's so much. And I keep reading the books, comics. And if Lego had original themes, because I know Star Wars, I know all of Star Wars. I spent my entire life learning that. And I don't want to get into Marvel. It's so much. There's so much. Yeah. But Bionicle, I know enough to kind of get back into it. So that's why I like original themes as well. There's enough story. I've gone through probably every original theme that I've wanted to learn about the lore. And that's why I'm always okay buying sets and then giving them away, or, selling them back to Bricks Minifigs, because I want to have the set with me while I'm exploring the theme, because I obviously want to like engage with it. So that's part of my reasoning for being okay of like selling these sets back and getting rid of my collection and just rotating it around. Yeah. And that's a whole concept in itself we can talk about. But yeah.
We'll see if we get into that today, because I know I feel like that could be a whole video or a whole episode in itself. But we've got a question from Stickler Bricks. CPA, Brickmaster Harri, do either of you watch Ben Cossey? Are you familiar with him? Say he'll do the top Bionicle mocks and stuff like that, or videos or whatever of a certain period.
Something about that voice, just
great stuff.
Oh man, yeah,
great stuff. And then the legendary MKM Brick is in the chat watching us today. First off, he said the legendary duo. Hats off to you, good sir. He said first thing I looked up when I came back was all the Lego Jedi.
He made a video about that. Shout out to MKM. I looked that video up actually a while ago, but he did every Lego Jedi and the most expensive ones too. So that's pretty
crazy. Yeah, that's cool. We've been kind of dancing around it a little bit with your content creation. So getting back into Lego out of your dark ages, posting on your personal. Did you post a lot of Lego on your personal before you fully decide? Or you went straight to the...
I made a TikTok account first, and I called it Lego Dude 1357, whatever. And my intention was to not have anyone know it was me. And I was just thinking, I'm going to post about it because I got the Slave 1 from 2006. Excuse me. And I just made a video building it and stuff, made one video, posted it. I didn't even tell my girlfriend at the time. I didn't even tell her. And then it got, at the time, like 30,000 views. And I thought, whoa.
For your first TikTok?
Yeah, but TikTok's easy to blow up on, you know. So
Still though.
Yeah. So at the time, I was freaking out. And then I called Brittany. I was like, oh, I did something. You might be impressed. So I showed her. And then I just kept making it kind of the sound effect, the popular trending sounds with Lego, and did that. I built like a clone base, and then that was my experience. And then I made an Instagram and a YouTube after that, and I actually named it Lego Master Harri. And that was when I was doing my Kashyyyk mock, just a way to keep up. And that's what a lot of YouTubers do. They build something, they want to, do the footage of it. So that's how I really started. And then I started posting shorts. I just took them from Instagram, put it onto YouTube, and that's a big tip I would even say right now. Just super simple. Make a video on Instagram. And I would always make the Instagram video. And then before I upload it, I just press save, and I saved it without music. And that way it saves without a watermark. It just saves the video that you just edited together, right? And then I would post on Instagram with a certain music, and then on YouTube with certain music. And that way it's super simple, just, different songs for each one. And I still do that to this day.
So is that having different songs on, because I have noticed you do that, different songs on each platform. Is that just a sort of A/B test, or do you pick on based on what you like, or what you trendy more than anything?
It goes in deep for how I create shorts, because I learned that I had to find the right music, because you don't want, at least I don't want words in the background, because it takes away from me talking. If you're doing different type of stuff, of course it works. But Instagram, I would just look up whatever, and then YouTube, I would look up MF Doom beats or whatever. And I ran out of all these beats that I listened to as a skateboarder, as kendama player, whatever. I used to listen to all this music. So like Hive would know this, because he probably listens to all the same stuff. But all these popular rap songs, hip hop, and then take those beats that people knew, and that really got good engagement. And MF Doom is probably how my first reel blew up, or short, because I just used his song. Anyways, I learned that there was a good artist, and if you go back to a lot of my shorts from last year, you'll see this one artist that I used, and I looked it up and I found it. And every time I post a short on YouTube, I'm like, boom, I know where to go, because it's a nice beat. No one has heard it before. And I basically have run out of their music to use after all last year. So now I've kind of...
And you never want to recycle?
No, I try not to. I would if I need to. But then I realized that basically to make money, another way to make money on shorts is to do affiliate marketing, to put your link of the thing. But in order to do an affiliate link in the thing, you have to use shopping sounds, and that reduces your list of music significantly. So now I've really found a good, I don't want to give all my secrets away, but you can look at my recent shorts and see the music I've been doing. But YouTube, I start with, that's my main bread and butter. I get paid. So I spend a lot of time picking a song for that. I'll go through all the shopping. I have something I look up for each one. And then Instagram, I don't get paid. So it's like the first one suggested, that's a beat. Like, cool, I'll pick that one. Same with TikTok. I just re-upload with a different song. And sometimes, most of the time, Instagram doesn't have the same version of the song that I used on YouTube. So that's why I just don't use the same anymore.
That's good to know.
Yeah, a lot of information there, but that's important. Always pick a good song. Don't have the volume too high. This too.
Yeah, that's always tricky for me, because when I'm playing it, I edit through my MacBook, and the speakers on a MacBook are better than your average speakers on any other laptop or phone or whatever. So the audio levels sound really good. It sounds nice and loud and clear. And then I go to play it on my phone to edit it or upload it to Instagram or YouTube, and like I have to drop the music. I have to like turn the volume all the way up on my phone, and it's not even like loud. Does this happen to you? Is this just a universal problem?
When I'm next to Brittany, oh my gosh, I'll be like uploading video and I say, give me 1 minute. I have to. And I
audio balance. Yeah.
I turn up my phone all the way because I just use Instagram and YouTube. I'm not on any fancy app, but I'll turn up the volume on my phone all the way so I can really hear what it sounds like. Because if you're low, you can't hear, like you said, the mix. So she'll get so annoyed because I have to listen, and it just repeats, and I have to figure out. I always start my shorts with the beat, like on the drop, and then it kind of goes. So it's good for as soon as people are scrolling and they see a video of mine, it's just boom right into the song, right? And that's what I always try to do, and it gets super annoying for her, and I don't blame her. That's just shorts YouTuber things.
Well, it's nice to know that maybe it's not like because then I always feel like you never want someone to scroll to your short and them have to change their volume. At least that's how I kind of see it. You want to make them do the least amount of work when they've landed on your short to understand what's going on. So like if they have to change their volume to watch your short, they're probably just going to skip it.
Right. You don't want people to have to do anything when they look at your short. You don't want them to have to squint. You don't want them to have to like raise their brightness. So everything needs to be perfect or else you lose a viewer. And those are all things that I've learned over time because I started my stuff. And as soon as I got I'm watching my own thing and I'm like, okay, what am I to do now? It's not going to be a successful short. You got to make something that's fast paced. I hate to say it, but it's kind of TD Brick style videos where it's fast paced. In a short though, it's a little more acceptable, I feel, because it's 60 seconds. You know, you think of it as you pack as much detail into 30 to 60 seconds that you can, and the viewer will applaud you for it. As a long form video, like 10 minutes of just fast, there's almost too much stuff. You just kind of, whoa.
Gotta let it breathe.
Yeah, exactly.
So Brickmate has a great question in chat. He says, did you notice any performance differences with using sounds inserted via editing app versus in-app trending sounds? Have you ever tried to use your own bank of sounds?
Oh, well,
or music?
I do that for like sponsored posts. I use Epidemic Sounds. That's for YouTube videos, for everything. That's I pay for the service so I can make money on my short without the music being taken down. So that is harder to use. But also just talking about trending sounds, I never do trending sounds at all because mostly they do use words. But also I'm a huge stickler for shout out to Stickler Bricks here. I'm a huge stickler for using my own stuff that no one's used before. Because if my video, I try not to copy anyone. You know, people can do that. I don't mind that. But for me personally, I take pride in everything I do being original, especially with finding new music that no one's used before. I try to use sounds that don't have a lot of usage. Because on YouTube, you can see, 200 people used it. Or CPA's Deadpool short. He got tons of views through the music used. What is that one called?
Bye.
Can you sing it? Just sing it.
Bye. I gotta own it.
Yeah, that one. And a lot of people found him through that. So there is benefit in using it. Although I just take pride. It's like a painting. I don't want to use anything like an idea. I don't want to use music just for myself to feel good personally. So if that answers your question, I try to find my own stuff.
Well, did you know that there's one creator out there who has used some of the music that you've used in your shorts and reels? Did you know that?
Wait, what do you mean? I mean, I don't care if people use.
It's me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was one song where I was like, I think I was super struggling for a song to just to find something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I was watching a Harri reel.
Yeah.
And it was like really a bumping song. So I was like, I'll just
use it. Everyone use my stuff. That's what I like. I take satisfaction in when people copy, well, not completely copy now. That's a whole different topic. But again, if they take inspiration, like, there's a good song, let me use that. Use it up. You know, I just like knowing, I kind of inspired someone for that.
Yeah.
It gives me pleasure in my work.
We got Shy in the house, of course.
Ooh, raise the roof.
No, that's Scott saying hi, Shy. Now we got Shy in the house.
There you go.
Sweet.
Shy knows. Shout out to Sitting on a Stoop. In my episode, we talked about, being original. Not just copyright and stuff, but actually just taking pride in doing your thing. And everyone's got to start somewhere, of course. There's also pride in doing the trending sound. That's a different type of content in itself. So
yeah. Level setting back to your first days, weeks, months as a fledgling content creator. Which year? Because I don't even think I know. I'd probably guess like 2021 is when you started.
Yeah, I mean on TikTok, that original thing I just posted 2021 end of that year probably. Or no, it would be 2022.
Okay.
Like probably beginning of 2022 or middle when I got the Slave 1, that's when I did the first video. Yeah.
And then going into YouTube, Instagram just later in the year, middle of the year.
Yep, and it was kind of a big deal that I did that cuz I wasn't trying to do like the whole influencer thing ever. I never really was trying to do that. And I still don't consider myself an influencer. Although that's another interesting thing about this job is that I'm always blown away by like the amazing community. And I mean this in the most humble way, but yeah, sometimes going to a Bricks Minifigs, or I'm always surprised. I'm always shocked when people are like, "Are you Brickmaster Harri?" At my local Target. Shout out to man, what's his name? I met
someone in the ACOB server.
Yeah. At my local Target, I walk in with Brittany, and I go to the Lego aisle, and then this guy is there. You know, he's around my age, and he looks at me and he's like, "Are you Harri? Are you Lego YouTuber Harri?" And I said, "Yeah." So we start talking, and he's in the ACOB Discord, and I was like, "Do you know CPA-fol? Do you know?" And he's like laughing, like, "Yeah, no, I see him all the time on there." So he knew he was in the community. He was there to take a photo for his Twitter, just like a funny thing with the Marvel box.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was so cool and surreal. And that's why I have to kind of take this job a little more seriously of, okay, my words have impact on people.
Yeah.
And even when I make videos now, for anyone who's seen my last video called Adult Fans of Legos Have No Imagination, writing that, it's just something that I like, you know, that's an interesting topic to me. But a lot of these comments, people are really defending themselves. No, I have imagination. You're wrong. And then I forget, oh my gosh, it's right. I mean, people really take what I say sometimes and think about it, ponder it. Does this affect me? No, he's wrong. And here we go. Here's why. And they're totally valid to do that, which is great. It's great for the community to talk.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, you get the same thing as your words, your live streams have meaning. So anyone's videos, we joke about it, but your digital footprint, you make a video, and it's like sus or whatever, it's staying on the internet no matter what. Your hirers in the future will look that up. So
and I know you and Firebird preach that a lot of putting something out there that's not, and I've kind of stepped back on this a little bit myself, because I used to do a lot of the, partially because of the time, like I don't want to put my time towards that anymore, but just doing like the short 5-second trendy haha meme type video, which every once in a while, I'm not like going to say I'll never do that, but spending time on that, kind of putting that out there, not even for the, like, if my employer sees that, I'm not worried about it, but more just like, do I want to spend the time on this sort of content that really isn't thought-provoking or interesting in some sort of new imaginative way? So
you always got to ask yourself who your audience is, because if you're just making social media stuff for fun, right? That's your thing, you know, you're just doing that. But if you're making it, me, you, Firebird, we make money doing our thing, right? So it's a little more important nowadays to think about what is our audience, who is it, and then how. I mean, shout out to Firebird though. He really, like, he's a mentor to me personally, you know, about all this, and this is coming from him. But yeah, you just got to be careful what you put out there, and even personal life details nowadays. I started by my full name in my bio. You know, I would have put my address on there for all I knew. And it's just kind of gnarly. You got to think about being careful with your information you put out there nowadays. Yeah.
No, it's true. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Clever Pig says, I haven't watched that video yet. The imaginative AFOLs have no imagination, but it's on my list, and the thumbnail absolutely slaps. So funny.
I actually did change it now.
Did you?
Yeah, and it's actually doing a lot better. It's interesting how this works.
I haven't.
The newest one.
I'm gonna go not click on it, so I'm gonna tank your CTR. Oh, oh, you totally changed it.
I did, because the other one was getting a bad click through. It was going down, and then this one is getting a solid like 6.57.
Wow.
Who would have thought?
Of the lady just
Yeah.
buying a bunch of Mandalorian starfighters.
Yeah, with the mask on.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there's so much to think about when you're doing content creation, and it depends how deep you want to get into it. For me, we love to think about analytics. Okay, click-through rate for the thumbnail. Okay, that's important. Or views, or how I make my videos, the titles. It's all got to be thought about. And that goes towards my livelihood. I would love to support my soon-to-be wife and having kids, at home, and I would love to support that lifestyle. So hopefully, I can get there. And there's people in the community proving that it's possible right now. Gives me a lot of excitement for the future.
So we're in our walkthrough of your history. We're in about 2022. What did the end of 2022 look like? Because you mentioned one of my questions on here was, did you ever dream of full-time content creation? You said no, that never really crossed your mind. Through the end of 2022, what is your approximate size of your YouTube channel? Had you already posted the short where you and Brittany went to the Lego store?
Yeah.
Had that already blown up?
Yeah. And it's funny.
I could probably check myself, but
it's funny that, okay, so basically I think towards the end of, it was October when I did, no, so it was October 2021. I don't even know. Years are kind of crazy. You could look it up if you want to.
I'm looking it up right now.
I know I posted a video with me and Brittany going to the Lego store.
January 8th, 2023.
Yes. And that's crazy to think about because it's 2023. I'm like, that can't be right because that's too early. But I guess I'm just that good. And no, I'm just kidding. No, so when we posted that video, it was a horrible voiceover. I would love to play. I would love to play it on here to compare, but it's just crazy. If you guys want to go back to my original short that blew up, 3 million.
Did it have
views.
Music? Did it have music in it?
Yeah, it did. It was MF Doom.
I probably won't risk it.
Nah, don't worry. And it blew up overnight. A million views, and it just climbed to like 3 million now. And I got, I think, 10,000 followers from that.
Crazy.
Now, I am of the type, personally, where shorts, okay, if I haven't, like to this point, if I did not make one long form video, and I was still I'm at where I'm at now, 120,000. If I got all of those through shorts, I probably wouldn't be like giving me a pat on the back as hard as I am now. Because I understand, like, subscribers are great, but what matters to me and a lot of other YouTubers is making money, and shorts do okay.
You've heard it here first. Brickmaster Harri is all about making money.
Yeah, well, in a sense, because when I'm going full time, yes. When I wasn't, I did not care.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I still get to make the things I want to make, but just in a format that creates the best views and the best. Honestly, I think my videos now that have been doing really well, the shorts exactly, they've been really fun to watch, like probably the most fun because it's just boom, 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 fun music, and it makes me the most money. I mean, it's just a win-win-win. Now, because I've made long form videos that have multiple videos that have exceeded my following count at a time, 120,000 subscribers. I have multiple videos over 100,000 views. To me, I'm like, okay, nice. I have a good balance of shorts and long form. For me personally, that's like the whole package. It's think of it as an NBA player. I think if you guys are familiar, there's someone named Victor Wembanyama. He can do it all. He can dunk. He's super tall. He can shoot. He can dribble, right? Shorts creators, and this is something I wanted to get out of, the stigma, is like, okay, that guy's good. He can he can shoot the ball with it gets you a lot of points, right? That's as far as I can go with this analogy. He can shoot the ball. Okay. But can he dribble, right? And then, okay, long form videos now. Cool. I'm just a complete package now. So that's something I take pride in. And there's nothing wrong with just doing shorts like you and I know. There's nothing wrong with it. They're really fun. But I just thought to be proud of myself to the fullest extent, I enjoy the challenge of doing long form because it is hard stuff. Like shout out to MKM for what he does because In a
Oh yeah.
year, MKM grew to like more subs than me, and that's all just long form. Oh my word, insane.
For sure.
And Firebird Bricks, like all those guys, SW Bricks, Jonty, shout out to all those guys.
So with your speaking long form, short form, I just had your videos pulled up. So you posted your first video. It was the Kashyyyk mock, end of 2022. Then you had your short that blew up beginning of 2023. Your next long form video was end of 2023, November. That was the 5 things Lego Star Wars sadly stopped.
That shows up. I deleted a bunch or privated.
I know you did. So
Okay.
we'll just look at these from this perspective of like, because this is what you're putting forward to the public as
my
Brickmaster
first
Harri.
long form video that I tried on was the 5 things video.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's actually, I think we already had kind of been chatting
I think so.
in November of 2023, which is weird to think about.
I was definitely talking to Firebird about that video. He was kind of helping me along, and he gave me a lot of good information after that video came out. So yeah.
So thinking of how you talked about it a bit of transitioning from not purposely a strictly shorts channel, but kind of bridging the gap and flexing your muscles and showing or growing in a way, growing your another skill set and saying, yes, I can.
It's important to go full time too, because at the point where I was, 50,000 subs and making good money from shorts, good enough that I was like, oh well, okay, if I could get long form rolling, I could definitely do this full time, right? Make more than I was at my just retail job. So that was another point. Is yes, long form is important to secure my. I mean, just be extra proud of myself. It's a whole nother challenge. They're so different from shorts, clearly. But it also was good money to do long form. It's the best type of money you can make on YouTube. So I knew in order to do this full time, in order to support my goals, and my ultimate goal is to be able to provide for my family, right? Provide a stay-at-home life for my wife and kids, eventually, just for a couple of years. Like, and if she's watching this, it can be for as long as you want. But it's it's a goal that I want, and I'm trying to support that. So I get to be involved in the community. I get to support my goal, and and give back to the community through this. But I will say, it's kind of segueing into some of the content stuff. We got a lot of people in the chat. Shout out to everyone. So some advice is just like CPA has done, how I've done. CPA, you have found a niche. And I'm not just saying Deadpool, but you found a niche of creating your figure in an entertaining way, like pulling from different figures, at least for your shorts, right?
Yeah.
I found a niche now in long form, I would like to say, talking about adults in the Lego space, because those videos consistently do over 50,000 and one of them over 350,000. So that's kind of the niche I'm kind of going into with long form until I get to a bigger studio I can do my build videos. But find your niche. If you go back to my original videos, my thumbnails are all over the place. My titles are kind of all over the place. Some are Star Wars, some are adult fans of Lego's worst themes, whatever. There's no cohesion in that. So when someone sees my video, it's like, oh, okay, that's an interesting thumbnail. I don't know who it's by. I'm gonna skip. But with the adult fans of Lego in the title, now I know, or people know, that's probably Harry's video because he just yaps about that all day. So anyways, find a niche. I've kind of done that with shorts too, where I like to think of myself not as much of the type of, or no, not as much as like, what am I looking for?
The niche or
the shorts. I look at, if people see the way I edit my shorts, they know it's me. Where it's just punchy and they know it's me, the music. Not so much I switch up category. That's it. Category of short. Like I'm talking about Star Wars. Now I'm talking about all this other stuff.
Yeah. It's more the style. The same style is bridging different Lego themes.
Right. So long form, I would say it's more important to find your niche. Firebird Bricks, mechs. You do a lot of live streams, but you also do a lot of the Bricklink. That's like I'm more adult fan of Lego. But shorts wise, you do gotta, you have a style, I have a style, and I think that's more credible to believe that people are realizing that's your stuff because of the style, because of the lighting, because of the audio. Oh, that's CPA. Oh, that's Harri.
And that's interesting that you bring that up, because in posting, I think I have 8 Deadpool shorts and then a couple other tangential with a similar style. I can see some of the same names popping through. Or it's really good when you've got one person comment in a row on like 2 or 3 of your shorts. Because then like, all right, they're feeding them, which is always a good thing. But yeah, finding the niche, super important. I'm super curious though, because with our talking to Firebird about the goals for 2025, trying to hit that video, long form video that surpasses the non-Lego video on my page. Thinking probably just do like a Deadpool long form, like creating Deadpool minifigures, but in a long form, since I kind of already have the content down, just gotta block it out. Right. I'm curious to see how that'll do, because that'll have to really fight past a lot of the, which it might still work, because I'm thinking a lot of my long form audience is that 30 to max of 50 AFOL, because they like the Bricklink designer program. Right. So, I mean, there's still a big chance that...
Well, you're going to get new audience. That's always important.
Well, that too, yeah.
That's another thing to think about, is finding... Okay, because my audience is just a lot of Lego fans. And there's way more to get. There's just way more that I can get subscribed. But I made a video at the skate park with a Lego Star Destroyer, just doing tricks over it, and then I drop it at the end, right? And that got like 2 million views. It got 7,000, probably 8,000 subs. And by comparison, one video that I posted with a bamboo plant that has 7 million views on each video across each platform. And that video didn't garner basically any, maybe it has like 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, but those are all Lego fans compared to the skate park, where it's all skater. It's all regular people. So you always want to try to appeal to new audiences. Yeah. And when I'm looking at my videos compared to if me, MKM are talking, MKM Brick or Firebird Bricks, their videos consistently have their new viewers like skyrocketing, and then their regular subscribers, below it. Mine are always regular subscribers and then new. So I need to build videos that will, and that's why I think the adult fans videos do kind of well for me, because if I can get just adult fans of anything, so all they see is adult fans are into Lego. So adult fans of Pokemon, adult fans of whatever, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever. Yeah. They can be like, what is this guy talking about for Lego? Maybe this has to do with me. And that's what I'm trying to do with my long form now. And I've seen it in a couple videos, the view count at least. Yeah. So,
because that's important with your shorts. It sounds like you might be getting to a point where you've tapped out at least the subscriber portion, like the views, obviously, which one would argue the views is probably the most important thing as far as revenue.
Exactly.
But like to more or less to pocket or guarantee future revenue, future success, those subscribers are...
Well, I would say subscribers really help, because this is another thing we can talk about, is a lot of family members of mine, regular people, will say, man, you reached 100,000, shameless plug, you got your plaque. Yeah.
It's so shiny you can see me in the reflection.
Yeah. You got your plaque, and it's amazing. But at the end of the day, all I really care about are views, at least as a business standpoint. It's a great thing, but I know that I can there's people who hit 1 million views in 3 days, or 1 million subscribers in 3 days. It's insane. So YouTube Shorts, if you have one video pop off, like shout out to Stud City, he has 4 Du Bois. If you look at his top videos, those are all 4 Du Bois, and it's a popular sound. And he has, I'm not saying those are all of his viewers, but if you look at the Sitting on the Stoop episode, he credits that to being a lot of followers, right? Yeah. And short, like the sounds are a giant thing from that. It's literally 4 Du Bois, boys supporting the boys. Some ladies mixed in there, I'm sure. But those are great to exploit in that way. Like, he's a very smart guy for using that, right? And same for me. I want to try using skating or everyday things combined with Lego, so the average person will be like, oh, this guy's kind of relating to me on a basis that he's involving Lego in something I like to do, not where I'm going to subscribe to this guy because he mainly just talks about Lego, because I'm not in the Lego fandom. I'm just a regular person who likes Lego. So I need to be better, and that's this year. I want to explore more of that, and make entertaining videos around regular everyday activities with Lego. Try to figure out a way to mesh the two.
Yeah. No, and it's been really cool to see how your videos over the past, I mean, basically in 2024 has been kind of your debut, of course, with that. Let's see, when was the adult fans of Lego have issues? Let's see when that was posted.
That one was, yeah, pretty good.
January 2024. So basically, all intents and purposes, 2024 was your breakout long form year, proving that you can make these long form videos and be successful, right. Bringing new and engaging, because that's arguably one of the most important things is the topic engaging. Are you getting comments, likes, dislikes, wars in the replies in the comments, of course, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. I would say too, what I've learned, especially one that's called Adult Fans Are Ruining Lego. That one, the thumbnail has consistent 7% click-through rate. So 7% of the people who see my title and video click it. And over time, that's a pretty good one, because it's a relatable thing. It's just, I put a picture of Lego behind glass at a Target, and everyone's like, what? Why does that happen? And then the title says Adult Fans Are Ruining Lego. So now people are saying, is this guy Brickmaster Harri saying that adult fans of Lego are the reason it's behind glass nowadays? What's the deal? Let me click this. So if you have a good title and a great thumbnail, my video, the people don't watch that video as much. Like, you think it's popular because people watch all the way. It's a really bad watch chart. So if people watch 2 minutes and 30 seconds and click out for the most part. But because I have the good thumbnail and view or title, people click that. So just your packaging, that's what we call packaging. It entails both of those things. If you have a good packaging on your video, you'll definitely be guaranteed some views. So if you're anyone who makes a long form video, if you see it's just not taking off, like, keep testing out new thumbnails. Don't let it just be one and just think it's going to pick up out of nowhere. You really got to try. And that's the hardest part for me, is making a good thumbnail. It's the worst. I'm sure you can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
On the videos that have not done well, it's because I didn't go into the video knowing what my thumbnail would be. And we talked about, for I see Starmox is here, Robonut is here. Both of you guys were in the stream 2 weeks ago with Caleb and went over that idea concept at length, to say the least. I think it was, if I don't want to butcher it, but it's idea, thumbnail, title, and then video. So
I would even say thumbnail. Thumbnail is most important. Firebird always said that, is if you can't make a good video, and like, if you can't think of an idea that has a good thumbnail, if the thumbnail you think of isn't that good, and you got to be honest with yourself, don't make the video. And I've made videos. I've done this in the past where I film it and then I wait to do the thumbnail on the last day after it's all done, and I'm like, oh, this can't make a good one. And especially for my recent video, I was like, what is the thumbnail going to be? There's no way to say adult fans of Lego have no imagination. There's no way, except for one that I found, and it was good at first and went down, and then now I have another one, and I'm surprised it's working as well. It is. So you never know sometimes.
How do you think, basically in short, like, how do you think of these unique, engaging topics? What do you pull from? I know we've talked about this a little bit, but really, how, like, reading a couple of your titles, 5 things Lego Star Wars sadly stopped. Great one. Star Wars focused, of course. And then that was, like you said, that was your first one. Adult fans of Lego have issues. How did Lego get away with this? Adult fans of Lego need to be honest. Like, maybe walk through, and even walking through that step of thinking of the idea, then immediately thinking of the thumbnail, or maybe not in that order. Maybe having some saving grace sometimes, order. But like, at least the idea. Are you pulling these from your personal, what you've seen other AFOLs dealing with? Or where are you getting that?
Specifically, the AFOL ones, I can confidently say, like, if I have adult fans in the title, I craft that meticulously. I will think about it for a minute, and I'll pace around my room. What is the best way to say, right? And the other videos where 5 things Lego sadly stopped doing, or Lego keeps getting away with this, those are kind of in the moment. I might even change them depending on how the video does. I'll just like, okay, what's the title that makes the video okay? Because I'm fine making a video. I just sometimes need to figure out the title and thumbnail. So I've been getting better, and I'm trying to not make videos if they can't have a good thumbnail. So I will always come up with an idea before I do the video nowadays, and that's hopefully it works, because the other thing to keep in mind is that I want my videos to have good performance each time, so sponsors will hop on, because that's going to support my eventual goal as well. So I'm trying to get it so at least for my long form retention rates and everything, over 50K, preferably over 100K each video over time. So yeah, I've had some duds in the past where I'm testing out a build video, or I'm testing out random things, and they get 14K, 14,000 views, and it's pretty good. I'm thankful for all the views, but in what I want to happen, it's just not reaching my goal. So I need to figure out something that's good every time.
Yeah, because I know you had mentioned in 2025, or whenever you get your own space, you want to get into doing the build videos. I'm curious, do you have any? Because I know, like you said, those are unfortunately your two lowest, or some of your lowest viewed videos. But what do you have any ideas yet to figure out really how you're going to make those?
No, what's crazy is that my my Lego Star Wars theme park video I did right before Chicago. It has the best retention. People are watching it the most out of all my videos. They stay through the longest. It had a great advertisement spot. It has a horrible click-through rate, but this is a whole different topic. But I had everyone at Brickworld Chicago help me make a thumbnail for it. And SW Bricks, MKM, Firebird, Emmasaurus, all these people who make good thumbnails in these build style videos, they all crafted it, and they're like, this one should be doing good. This one should be good. It would do good on mine, and it did not. It's like a 2% click-through rate. So 2% of people who see my video will click it, right? Or every 2%, whatever. Yeah. So because my videos are so podcast-like and just talking to the camera, a build video is so random that unless it has like a crazy good thumbnail and title, it's not going to push it out. So the build video, I've been proven that it works. People enjoy it. I just need to figure out how. Although I don't want to do build videos, I'm not going to lie. I'm not into that. I like talking to the camera, somewhat M&R style. I want to become more into that type of thing. So we'll see. Like, if this continues to do well, my videos continue to just keep going at this rate, and I can still pump out shorts, and both are going and sponsors going, I think I'll continue just the podcast style videos, because that's what I enjoy the most. And it's getting good feedback for what my niche is starting to clearly become, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, with your workflow, what does it look like from idea, script writing, filming, blocking, and then editing? About how long does that process take?
I use, on my old laptop, like a week or two, because I try to do it.
How many hours a day, give or take? A couple hours a day, or?
Yeah, let's say this last one I did, I took a day. If I really want to crank a video out, I can, because I wrote it in a day. The next day I kind of edited some things in the morning, and then in the afternoon I filmed it, and then uploaded it to my computer, and then the next 3 days I edited, and then I uploaded on Sunday. So it's Monday or Tuesday to Sunday. So it was just, and then I took Saturday off, right? And it's not all day, because I'm with Brittany most of the day too. But I can crank them out in a week or less if I want to, especially with my new laptop. It's amazing. But if I can, I want to do it every 2 weeks. That's my goal for this year, is every 2 weeks, or at least 2 a month, if not 3. And that'll suffice. That's a goal.
Yeah, that'll be a 24 to 30 video, or at least 24 videos, give or take.
Plus some lives, and then plus all the shorts every other day.
Awesome.
That's doable.
So that's your little tease for the goals. So that'll be your goal for 2025. Are you hitting that so far?
Yeah. Monetary wise, I'm hitting my goal so far in the first month. I'm doing pretty good. Nice. Especially with the long form, it's helping out a lot. And then this is another topic. I've seen some questions about sponsorships, especially Bricks and Minifigs, or people always asking me like, "Oh, are you sponsored by this person? Are you?" Like, I always talk about in my video or in my short, if it's a sponsored thing, I will let you know, right? But besides that point, it's kind of nerve-wracking going into this year, because I made a certain amount of money last year, and this year I want to somewhat increase it by maybe a quarter of what so slowly progress, and I want to get to a point where it can achieve my goal. But I'm always praying every night. I'm like, God, please, like, help me out. Like, put some sponsorships in the mail, or just it, maybe people can reach out. And I actually have had some answers of prayers like the last couple of days. People reaching
Nice.
out. Some are scams, some are like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm this person, and they're not, but some are real. And it's always incredible to me that people reach out to me, a smaller, YouTuber in the grand scheme of things, and will be like, we want to work with you, right?
Nice.
So it all comes down to my viewerships and subscribers really help in that aspect. They will see, oh, this guy has, whatever subs, he must be good. Some companies don't really understand to look at viewership, which is like good for me, I guess. Some do, and people can make a lot of money from that. So I'm trying to get better this year with all of that. That's all a goal. Just increase my, what's the word? Be more, yeah, profit, but be more, what's the word? Like businessman like, or business minded,
entrepreneurial.
Yeah, be more like locked in, not just I'm hoping something will come my way.
Yeah,
I'm reaching out to
go
people.
getter. Being a go-getter.
I'm writing emails. I mean, shout out to Danny Bob. It's crazy the amount like she's grown with all of her sponsorships, with her long form videos. She's finding the niches that work. Okay, here's Fortnite. It's really popping. I'm gonna dive my feet into Fortnite, right? Who knows? Maybe she's got some mech videos coming out in the future. She's finding these niches that do well, and yeah, like find something that works and apply it to your stuff. That's a great way to do it.
For real. Now let's sort of transition. We talked about content for a lot, and we could talk about content for another hour. But let's yeah, for real. Let's get into, and you've alluded to a little bit, the affiliate side of things and how that has worked out. Starting with starting with LAN. Getting into LAN, I believe, was that 2023, early 2023? So spring 2023 cycle. What was the application process like? Yeah. Did you feel like you had a shot when you applied? How big were you when you applied? I feel like that's another good question.
Yeah, these are great questions. YouTube. I'm gonna okay. Let's make this really clear, because I'm gonna send people to this video whenever people ask. I'm gonna say, go to this timestamp and look. Just okay, because this is.
I can cut this out and just post it.
Sure. I might do that. Yeah, if you want to. But this is my application process, my suggestions to people to get into LAN. This is all of this. Okay. So when I applied to LAN, and I think it was like late 2022, or no, maybe it was early. I think it was early 2023. So it took me a couple months to for them to look. Okay. Because they review applications twice a year. And I got accepted on my birthday. No, I applied on my birthday, February 15. People write that down. It's coming up. So then I applied then, and I got accepted later that year, a couple months later. So I had, I think, like 30,000 subs on YouTube, and I was making shorts basically, right? I did make a long form video. This I haven't really talked about this to people, so this is good information. I made a couple long form vlogs, one of which was me going to Arizona with my girlfriend at the time, Brittany, and she came with me to a convention. I displayed this big Kashyyyk mock. So when I applied into LAN, they ask you a bunch of things on the application. How long have you been in Lego? What is your community like? What type of videos do you make? What is your goal? Like, if you were accepted, what's your goal to use LAN for? What do you do? So I picked a angle, because you always got to pick an angle. You can't be too broad. You got to channel in on something. I picked something that I was really meaning for, and I still do, is I make content with my girlfriend. We're young, right? I want to appeal to adult fans of Legos, particularly in my age range of 20 to 30, right? Maybe they're just getting into it. Maybe they're trying to see if this is something that, is viable for them, if this is something people their age do. I want to break down stereotypes and say, look, I have a girlfriend, it's just, we're normal people. We're both playing together. We're just enjoying Lego, right? And I wrote about that. And I said, I'm making content with Brittany. I still do, and I love to. So I did that, and I said I have 30,000. If I got into LAN, I would use that as a way to amplify my voice, to really show that it's cool being an adult fan of Lego in this day and age. And you guys, I would love to show that Lego gives opportunities to adults, whether that's through CPA-fol days, in Denmark, or they have lots of different programs that people don't even know about, that aren't talked about. So I want to help amplify that. So I wrote that in, I submitted, and they accepted. Now, this was before I really dove deep into the community. I wasn't super ingrained with everything. I had no idea how the application process went. I had no idea people apply every year and get denied. I had no idea. And when I got accepted, I'm like, oh, sick. Like, this is amazing, you know?
Because from your point of view, you had just more or less just gotten into content creation, end of 22.
Yep.
Early 23, you're like, hey, there's this thing called LAN.
Yep.
It would help me out. It'd be cool. Let's do it. And then
I
got in. So from your point of view, it's like, this is just how it goes.
I always knew that LAN was a thing. I was like, man, I know there's a program. Let me look it up. First of all, I was shocked that it's just free to apply. I thought they'd reach out to you. So I was like, frick it, I'll just do it. Right. And again, I got in, and I remember waking up that morning and I called Brittany and I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. You know, like, thank you. We did it. Like, we're doing this. Right. So I made a whole acceptance video. I got accepted. And when I had my onboarding meeting with a couple people from LAN, what they said stood out to them about my content was they enjoy that I am a relationship style channel, right? And I even made comments about, oh, you know, I'm saving up for a ring, like doing this, you know, making money. This is all going towards this, my future goal, which again, my future goal is having a family and being able to support that. That has always been my goal. And I want to support the Lego community in my videos and just show them that it's cool being an adult fan of Lego. And they told me another video when they were looking at my application. There's a group of people looking around. They were looking at my stuff. They saw the video of me and Brittany going to Arizona. They really enjoyed seeing her accompanying me and me showing that process of check it out. Like, we're going to a convention together, right? And from this point of view, it's a no-brainer that Lego would want to, you know, sponsor that type of activity. In my head, business wise, I studied marketing in college. It's perfect for them because cool, we have a guy that's, I don't do drugs, you know, I'm a good image to have. I'm not gonna lie, right? Just, you know,
it's safe overall.
It's safe, right? Not that no one isn't safe, but you get my point. So what I would recommend to people, if you're applying to LAN, pick an angle, one that not many people do. Like, there's not many people who are in relationships and doing this, okay? And really stick to that, but also really you gotta believe what you're saying, okay? Because if you just want free sets, it's not going to do it. You can't just write, well, I want free sets. I never talked about that. I really didn't understand how the sets even worked. I just knew that sometimes you get free sets early. Okay, I can make videos about that with Brittany, build them together. I talked about building botanicals. She loves that. I'm trying to get her into Lego. So if you're just saying, I build mocks and I enjoy showing my community I build mocks, you don't offer anything special. And unfortunately, the business world, Lego's just trying to amplify their voice through different channels that aren't as spoken about. You know, like they're trying, demographics. Okay. So it would be great if you could pick a demographic that isn't as
represented currently.
Perfect. Okay. So there's that info. So once I got in, I actually did not receive sets. Like, there were people that got in with me that started receiving all these sets. Even this year, all these new people receiving sets right away, big sets. I received one gift with purchase, like this cabin, little cabin gift purchase. Built it, waited more months, nothing. You know, no Star Wars. Even though Star Wars was my top, nothing. And I was pretty like salty. I was like, ah, man, what's going on? And I think I proved myself a little bit, views wise, maybe. I don't know how that works. I really don't. I wish I did, because I would love to get to a point where I could get everything, at least Star Wars related. Nowadays, I'm just accepting. They'll send you emails, say, here's a set that's coming out. We see on your preferred list of sets. Would you like to receive this? I turned down a lot. I turned down City. I turned down Dreams, because you have to make videos about this stuff. And I pick my audience and I say, would my audience respond well with City sets? Probably not. If it's Star Wars, Batman, Marvel, I haven't really done Marvel, but the stuff you see, botanicals, I'll accept those. And then if I can have Brittany in the video, like, she just finished nursing school, so it's great I recently had her a lot the past couple months, so I've done a lot of stuff with her, and that's what I want to get back to this year, once we kind of start seeing each other again in our different stages of life right now. So that's how that's worked. LAN has been wonderful. The early sets have been great. Now, I attribute a lot of my success to the program, of course, because without early sets, that's a lot of views. Although I will say, I'll argue that new sets, getting them early, it's just a lot of Lego fans clicking into my account. Even if a video a short gets 400,000 views before the set comes out, I would argue that's mostly just Lego fans. Unless a botanical set comes out and regular people are flocking over it, Star Wars is typically just Lego fans. So I would argue most of my following has come from videos like me showing off my Lego collection of, here are some tips for Lego Star Wars fans, do's and don'ts, or I went to the Lego store with Brittany, or bricks and minifigs, I traded this set, stuff I can make without LAN. So I attribute success to them, but not everything, to be honest. And I'm confident that I can create, and I still do create videos without relying on LAN as a whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are some LAN people who just make their content about LAN, and that's fine for the most part, because they're probably not making a living off of it. But to make a living off of Lego content, you can't focus on LAN, because during these months right here, there's no sets coming out anymore.
You still have to make stuff.
Yeah. Although they do give you opportunities. Recently, LAN's been really cool about providing paid sponsored activities, ads for them, that type of thing, influencer marketing. I haven't gotten many. They seem to have like a select group of people they really enjoy working with. That's credit to them. I would love to prove myself, as a full-time creator. I love those opportunities, and same with anyone else in the community. I really believe there's a lot to fix in LAN. I believe these paid opportunities should be going out to anyone that is who Lego can see proper influence.
You're saying outside of LAN?
Yeah, outside of LAN. I think as long as there is, what's the word? As a business, as long as they see, what's the word?
There's a business sense. There's potential.
Like, if a person gets the right amount of views or has the right demographic, because there could be a demographic out there who maybe doesn't have a lot of followers, but they should still get an ad because they're trying to reach that demographic, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's harder because my demographic somewhat is Star Wars fans. It's adult fans of Lego, but so is everyone else. So they're picking a lot of demographics that are hitting. Shout out to women in the Lego space. Like Jean, Nicole are in LAN. They get a lot of paid opportunities, of being real. And I can see why. They're really appealing to everyone, but a lot of girls follow them as well. And my girl following is like 15%. I'm pretty happy with that number. It's going up.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah. So you got to keep that in mind. But it's such an interesting topic. I think a lot needs to improve with LAN, but I also think it's incredible Lego provides that opportunity, free to apply. It's just unfortunate that they can only allow a certain amount of people, and I would love to understand their review process even better. I would not make it in if it wasn't for my relationship with Brittany. I'm just being honest. Like that is what it is. I would not make it in if it was just me.
Interesting.
So, interesting to think about.
I really appreciate that transparency, and I think it's important to remember, and you alluded to it certainly with your advice on getting into LAN. That's how Brickmaster Harri and Brittany got into LAN in spring of 2023. Would that work in spring of 2025?
I don't know.
Do you think it would work?
Now, this is a whole interesting topic. I think with the quality of content I make and the fact that I do involve Brittany and I talk about, I think I would have a good chance, if I'm being honest. I do want to answer one question here, or not even question. It was someone said this is the first time I thought about, or I heard that Lego. Oh, it's Brickmate. First time hearing Lego LAN has paid opportunities. I'm mainly talking about people have to disclose. First of all, no one's tricking you. No one's like, I'm making this video and it's paid. I'm not telling anyone. You always have to say ad. You always have to put paid opportunity. If you're not, you're breaking the law. So there's only a couple every once in a while. And it's stuff like, check out Build Together app. Like they sent me this box and I'm building it with my son. That's a paid opportunity. Or I got a couple paid opportunities last year. And it was made to be played. M&R likes to talk about this topic, made to be played with Lego.
Get me on his blacklist, dude.
Well, no, I'm just being real with everyone. Yeah. But Lego paid influencers for this. Me, Maticus, Nicole, a couple other people, and Lego paid us a certain amount of money and said, here, if you make a couple shorts about this topic, hashtag made to be played, and basically you just talk about an old set that you like, or a set that a custom thing you want to build using older pieces, right? And talk about how Lego pieces are designed to be played with over time, right? So that was basically the ad. We didn't have to say like, oh, well, Lego's having this new rollout of new pieces. We just said Lego pieces last over time. And for the most part, it's correct. Are there some pieces that break more often than others? Red, brown,
lime joints
from Bionicle.
2009 joints.
Yeah. Yes, those are probably 2% of the whole Lego catalog, but everything else,
if that.
So everything else works. For the most part, I think that's an okay paid opportunity, but it's up to these creators, including me, to understand what Lego's offering them and saying, is this accurate? Are you paying me to, as propaganda? Like, is this not true information that you want me to dish out? Or is this appropriate information that I want to support? Yeah. So if there was something I actually turned down.
I was going to ask, have there been any opportunities you turned down?
I turned down an opportunity, not because it was bad advertising by Lego. They just told me to make a video, and they were going to pay me for it to talk about a new building challenge they had for something. And I just said, no, that's not my type of content. And I didn't do that. So it's interesting. I really applaud Lego for providing these opportunities, and hopefully, they dish out from more than just land. But at the end of the day, I hate to say it, but Lego is privately owned. Like, they have total reason and total viability to make these decisions on their own. Like it or hate it, like, they're just a private company. If they were owned by a lot of different corporations, people with money, they would probably, maybe our voice would make a bigger stink, but they are making a lot of money. And as a business, if their profits keep growing, like, why change what you're doing? And that's a topic I would love to talk about in a video. It's so hard though, because I'm in LAN and I don't want to disrespect it at all, but I do enjoy talking about just the facts. Like, there's nothing wrong with talking. And if I get any letter in the mail saying I should, I don't know. We can talk.
I'm looking forward to hearing the full 2024 revenue results for Lego and seeing. I may have heard. Well, we'll see if they made more money than last year, than 2023, or made less money than 2023. So I'm pretty excited to kind of dig into that. Maybe making a video from a CPA perspective and like what the owners, because you would think, all right, if you made $8 billion in 1 year and then the next year you made 7.5 billion, you would think us little people, we'd be like, I made $7.5 billion. This is amazing. We're a success.
Yeah.
But as business owners, when you've had growth of almost double-digit percentages for the last 4 years, as soon as that dips or even flatlines, it's alarm bells are going off, sirens are going off. It's like, we're failing, guys. We're failing. We need to have a drastic shift. And then, of course, even when you start to drop in those double digits or drop at all, is when stuff really gets bad.
Stuff hits the fan.
Yes. Some things here and there are hitting that fan.
I would like to point out too, though, that LAN as a whole depends on the members in it as well, as in terms of its how it's perceived, right? So I will say that people in the community in LAN can receive sets early. We're allowed to give them away. We can't sell them, right? And I've recently enjoyed giving these sets away. And I think it's great to give back to the community in this way, especially because, like, if it's just sitting on a shelf anyways or sitting in a room, I might as well give it to someone who would enjoy it more. And that's something I want to do a lot more this year, is like, when I receive sets, or just do more giveaways in general, because you have, you activity support, you can receive some sets and then you can give them away. You can make videos on them. So if there is, I would say there's a lot of negativity around LAN, but since LAN opened, if all of their members did giveaways consistently, because this is what everyone's saying, these are ideas people have. Like, I think I heard Hive say this one time, is get rid of LAN, provide those assets to like everyone, because why doesn't everyone get a set? Why doesn't, and I mean, there's some credibility to that. They could do that. Is it the best for views and, marketing? Maybe not. But if each of the LAN members really started giving away sets, and I need to be better with this too, but keep the communities happy, like we are that link to Lego in a sense, right? I don't think there'd be as much negative perception around it, besides what could get better about it, So it's something interesting to talk about. I definitely want to get better at that, giving back.
And Robonut with the comment, very cool to hear some behind the scenes on LAN. Haven't heard much really about it since it initially started. So that kind of spawns me to think maybe we should have a full LAN episode of this.
Yeah, I don't think I would love to talk to people who don't like LAN, you know, like shout out M&R. I understand why. Or I mean, even listening to Hive, I shout out to him again, his rants, Pure Rant Fury. It's fun to watch, and he has legit criticisms of the LAN. And although he, even last night I was watching and he's like, oh, well, LAN members, I've totally changed my position on, for some of them at least, and LAN can go away, right? That type of thing. I get that. It's like, it can totally get better, but I do think there should just be conversation about it. It's weird because from what I say today, there's nothing that says I shouldn't be saying what I'm saying, right? People might get worried, like, oh man, am I gonna get kicked out of LAN for specifying that there are paid opportunities? No, I mean, it's just a thing. People say paid sponsorship. It's a fact. It's a fact. People get a paid thing, and out of the year, there's only been a couple that people do. This isn't like everyday type of thing. It's just once out of 2 months, people will get a paid opportunity. I think there needs to be a lot more conversation about it. Just to everyone needs to have a say. I think that's the best. And I'm reading all these comments will now go back to Lego, and I do report things. I say, this is what the community says. If we have a meeting at Brick World Chicago or another Brick World that I will be attending this year, I will say, you know what, this is what the community thinks. I think we can grow in this way, and that type of thing, you know?
And not in a way of reporting like Robonut03 said this about LAN. We need to get him on this list. More of like, these people are more than one person, a group of people have this sentiment, and we don't want, or at least you saying, Brickmaster Harri doesn't want this sentiment about LAN. We need to fix this. So it's all about fixing and making the community engagement better is your goal. I know that. Like,
as a LAN ambassador myself, Lego ambassador, I will be on the docket and say, I think LAN is more of a positive than a negative personally. And even if I was outside of LAN, I would still be saying that because Lego is at least trying to engage in the best way that they know possible. So let that be known as my official statement on LAN itself. Although I do think things can be better, and I think things will be getting better. I think Lego's just, you know, starting to realize all these things, and Lego's getting bigger, and they just need to, you know, create rules and different things, and they're going to do that, you know, just like any business. So that's what I have to say about that.
Well, at this point in the stream, I still have a couple more questions about LAN, but make sure if you're cycling through here, you just hopped in, make sure you like the stream. Give the stream a like, helps. I'm sure there's many other people out there that want to hear this kind of information. And also subscribe as well. Definitely helps the channel. We'll definitely be doing more. I know you told me you have a little bit more free time in the next couple months. So
I do a lot.
Hey, if you're available on Saturday evenings, we'll definitely want a couple more of these streams digging into these individual topics as well. So I'd be very excited for those streams in the future.
Yeah.
But my question for you, what are some of the main myths that you hear about the Lego Ambassador Network from your experience in LAN?
Definitely. Oh, just saw a crazy comment on one of my videos. Yeah, definitely the rumor that if you say something bad about a set, like you'll get kicked out. It's not the case at all. I mean, the fact that I'm saying what I am now, if I get removed from LAN after just speaking facts about the program, I'm not going to go into, there's certain things I'm not going to say. Like there are certain conversations behind the scenes that I'm allowed to see on forums and stuff. And it's just internal stuff, nothing crazy. It's just between different higher ups at Lego. I get the pleasure of like having a say on that. Like that's the importance of a community thing. Now, on that fact, there's nothing we ever sign that says I will sign my review opinion away and say only positives. I mean, people in here probably are sensible enough. They understand what I mean. Like you look at mini superheroes today reviewing the Hoopty from Marvel, like $90 or $80 set or 100, however much it is.
I think
like,
it was 80.
Yeah, I remember that review of his, and he's like, this is just not worth it. Like, not accurate. You know, it's not a good price. Don't pick this thing up unless it's for sale. Highly disappointed in the set. That's all the approval or the what's the word, evidence you need to know. Same with Solid Brick Studios, David Hall, like, or it's Hall, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He just makes honest reviews. He will say if he doesn't like something, if he does, if the price is worth it, if it's not. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I don't know if there's anything else. Are there any rumors you hear that you'd like to be cleared up? Anyone in the chat? Any rumors? I don't know.
Yeah, chat, dude, shoot out some rumors, chat. If you if there's something you've heard or something you've seen that you think, oh, this is what LAN's about, and we can clear that up to the extent we can right now.
To the extent, yeah. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, it was interesting. We talked about it already with the paid opportunities. And remember Jang's video when he was talking about sponsored versus not sponsored, like I think it was a couple months ago. In there, he mentioned that LAN members do not get paid cash, and I think or get paid outside of sets.
Oh, that's right. He was wrong on that, right?
Yeah, he was, and maybe this is just him and him talking specifically about Lego sets you receive. Like, you do not receive Lego sets and then $100 per Lego set that you review.
Oh yeah, no.
So that doesn't happen. So maybe he was just talking in a vacuum of that.
Yeah,
but I think I mentioned you that if I didn't know what I know about LAN from talking to anyone in the community, I would assume that LAN members, anytime they're posting a video, they never receive cash, which is not true. There are paid opportunities.
There are paid opportunities. Nothing to do with sets. But yeah, it's like paid opportunities. Think of it as Lego makes a lot of marketing. Like they do marketing. So nowadays people just do influencer marketing. And I don't even know for a fact, to clarify, I don't know for a fact if it's just people in LAN. Well, it's clearly not. Like Madison Beer got a paid opportunity for a huge amount of, like Madison
I don't think
Beer,
any of us were on that list.
No. But there's a lot of influencer marketing outside of LAN. So it's dumb of me to just say it is LAN. I'm not gonna lie. When I say paid, it's nothing. Like in the grand scheme of things, paid work, it's
not like you can kick back for a month because you got this paid opportunity.
No, I make more doing YouTube stuff, but it's still paid. So yes, to that fact, but it's influencer marketing in that way. You know what I mean? And why wouldn't they? Like they're picking Lego influencers because that's what people are nowadays. The landscape is changing year to year, because this conversation 2 years ago wouldn't be happening. Really, paid opportunity in 2022 would be like, what? But nowadays, in the landscape we're at, it's just a thing. People are influencers,
And Shai brings up a great point. He says, the paid opportunity is outside of LAN too.
Yes.
Different department. So in watching a podcast with the former community engagement manager for Lego, he mentioned that, and I'll share that with you. That's a really good one. Shout out to Shai as well for showing me that.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
The marketing department will go to LAN, which is now kind of melded a bit now, but once again, different departments. They'll go to LAN and say, give us a list of people that we can do this new marketing campaign that we're working on. And LAN will come back and say, here's a list of people. You, Brickmaster is basically anyone in LAN has already been vetted by the Lego system, so it takes no effort. And this is just to become more of a business discussion. Anyone in LAN has already been cleared, vetted, approved by essentially Lego. So the marketing department or whomever doesn't have to do any more extra work to figure out, does this person have some sketchy post on their Instagram from a couple years ago? They've already done that
footprint.
work. Exactly. Digital footprint. They've already done that work. So it's back to the other point, is it's safe. You've already been vetted. They already know what you do. So it's just an easy checklist. I feel like that's the main reason why it's stuck to people in LAN. Of course, you have the occasional like Miles Turner, they'll get a free, but even that's not even from Lego most of the time. Most of the time that's from like the movie studios that are doing the marketing.
And I would say StarMax makes a great point, which in general, if Lego is choosing influencers to pay instead of other corporations outside of Lego, in surfing, we call it keeping it core, where, surfing brands are picking surfers to sponsor instead of going to big corporations to run an advertisement on the TV. Instead, they're paying surfers to go surf. Lego's kind of keeping it core right there and picking influencers. That's where, when the marketing, because Shai makes a great point. Shai times my time is also in LAN. Yes, the marketing team will hit up LAN, and I know for a fact it's like, hey, we have an ad for, I don't know, say Mario. I don't think there's been one like that, but say Mario, whatever, goes to them. Do you have anyone? Okay, well, who's good? Let's see. Let's pick from our vetted people. This person is good for Mario, like CJ Brickles. Shout out to him. He just made Into LAN. He makes a lot of Mario content. Okay, he would have a good reach for that. Okay, maybe it's a short. If it's a long form video we need, maybe Emmasaurus, because she has great viewership. She's, you know, perfect for this brand image we need. So there's some interesting business mind to that Starmax said.
Yeah. Here's a good question from Minifigs Monthly. He says, curious to know why it seems that all LAN reviews seem to be the same / follow a similar script.
Now, before I even answer that, because that's more of a opinion, I guess, from the people I watch.
It's an anecdotal observation. For sure.
I would argue mine are pretty freaking good on shorts, at least, because it's like in 60, I try to make them 30 to 50 seconds now. 60 is a little too long for my taste.
Yeah.
I don't have time to say, yeah, this is good. I don't like this, you know, man. I'll try like the Superman mech, right? Just came out. I was looking at the set and I said, it's a cool set. That's my opinion on it. It's a cool set, like whatever. How can I make an entertaining short out of it? Because the videos that you have to make with sets, doesn't matter what. You could take the pieces and build something. You can review it, which is the most standard because it's, I wouldn't say least amount of work.
You don't have to really think. You don't have to be creative 9 times out of 10 with a review.
I know. I credit to everyone who makes reviews. You gotta be creative, okay? But yes, a review, 100% is copy and paste. Like it's the same type of idea. You're talking.
Like and so that's what I was gonna assume you were gonna say is when you're doing a review, like you said, you've got the box, you've got the build, or you've got the box, you've got the build, you've got the minifigs, and then you've got the price.
Now
they're all gonna hit that at some point.
Yes. But conceptually, like Tiago, I'm his number 2 fan. I would know that it takes. I've talked to him. It takes a while to make a video. He does, and he gets the amount of views to prove it. He deserves all the views in the world. He gets a set. He'll write a whole script out. Like he will first, analyze the set. Then he will write a whole script out talking about what he wants to focus on, the main points, whatever. Then he gets a ton of B-roll, which this is the creative part. B-roll is kind of the footage you get while you're talking. So he has to line up his shots. Like he buys certain gear to get a clean, smooth shot. He'll make the lighting really cool. And then on top of that, he has to do his voiceover. And shout out to Tiago, because I know that it's like from where he's from, English isn't the first language they use, and he has to use English, right? And I mean, it's a whole process for someone like him, right? Now, if I made a review on my channel, I don't think I'd put much work. I would open up the box, build it, and then say, this is what I like. These are the figs. Check it out. So, but my shorts, I would say, are different, and I keep them entertaining enough.
Yeah.
Just a little defensive myself. That's what I'd say on that.
And I will say with you, you tend to, you veil your criticism. I noticed that in your, I think it was the most obvious one was your ARC 170 video. I think basically your main criticism was that it's too expensive, or maybe that was the Starfighter.
I'm not gonna lie, like, and this is, I'm just so candid right now. I wouldn't say it's not clickbaiting, but I love taking the popular theory
rhetoric,
conversation rhetoric of a set. I turned on my Siri notification. That's funny. I like talking about the current conversation. So the ARC 170, when I was making that video, I was like, okay, I'm going to make a review, kind of. It's a fun review, okay? I'm not going to just say, cool, the wings can open if you click this. Cool, check it out. You could fit the figures. Siri, I'm not talking to you, bro. I said, what's the most popular conversation? It's overpriced. Okay, let's talk about this. How does Lego keep getting away with this? ? Now, I never really was like, I think that it's way too expensive. I just posed the question. And the only thing I care about is making an entertaining short with a set in it. Whatever I say in it, I just want to be entertaining and spark conversation, right? And I think that's more credible to the community, like more influential to create a space to talk about it, opposed to me just saying, check it out, here's a set, a little overpriced, get it if you want, click the link, buy it. That's not what I want to do. I want to create conversation.
And I definitely feel like you present these sets in a, like you said, a fun, entertaining way. You basically present all the facts, more or less, and then let the viewer decide, which then kind of not forces, but opens the door for engagement in a really good way to let people decide, is this overpriced? And then, of course, then you get the comments going, and that's definitely a wonderful thing.
And I get why, if people think, okay, well, you're in LAN, you should be giving your opinion, like you're forced to. No, no, I'm not forced to give my opinion about anything. If you want to know my opinion, comment. Like, leave me a comment and say, what are your actual thoughts? Like, should I buy this? I get a lot of comments. It's hard to reply to everything, but I try to seriously answer those questions of, yeah, no, the cockpit's cool. I don't like the sticker on the cockpit, but I think all three lined up and they fit all the figures, looks awesome. And the price tag is a little outrageous. Although for me personally, I buy it every day because I just want the set. Like, I want it and I have the funds to get it. Just like M&R. He has all the, the money from his content and he wants a set for content, but also if he wants something, he can buy it because it's a write-off. It works perfect. So my opinion might be a little different. And I'm not going to say like, well, if I was you guys, I don't know about it. It's like, you make the opinion yourself. It's all up here. You guys do that. You know what I mean? That's what I want to promote.
No, that's a great point.
Yeah, just my way of doing it. A lot of comments.
I had something. I mean, we could, like I said, we could dig into LAN for a while. Okay, so here's a question. What's one thing you would change about LAN?
I think respectfully, in the most respectful way possible. And I mean this only because I think it would be great if there were more slots. There aren't really slots that I know of. Okay, because this is all, I don't know anything about anything I'm about to say. I'm just speculating here.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Yes, I don't know anything. I'm just talking as a Lego fan now. If I'm outside of LAN, this is what I'd be thinking. There are some, at least maybe one or two people I can think of. Okay, one or two that don't really post much. So maybe behind the scenes are doing a lot. Maybe, I don't know. But I think if there was a way to kind of monitor if people are being active enough with the assets they're being given. And my greater point is basically a way to provide space for more people who would be more active, right? Who would be like, okay, this is a great, because the way at least that I can see LAN working right now is you're in, and then you're in, unless maybe they offboard people without people knowing. I don't know. I really don't know how that works. I hope. One thing I hope LAN does is provide the assets to people who are going to, use it all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and that would be, I would agree with that. I would hope there's a process or procedure in place where if someone isn't active in the LAN, whether it's, like you said, internally, externally posting things for sets or assets they've received, there should be a way for them to, for a lack of a better term, get the boot, because
respectfully.
Yeah.
I would think.
This group is for people that are passionate, that have a community, a designated community. They are trying to bridge the gap from Lego to the community. And you are a bridge for your community. If they're not doing it, if they're not engaging,
right. I would say that Lego is so gracious. I mean, just the people at LAN really want the people in there and the people in the community to succeed. Like, if I was a business and I created LAN, I'm like, okay, what's the best way to make money here? If I was Lego, I'm like, what's the best way to make money? I'm only going to send sets that cost us money to make. They could, if they wanted to, they could just send sets to the biggest people in LAN, like Solid Bricks, Emosaurus, Tiago. They could just send sets to them and have all these views roll in and make a ton of money that way. But they go more than that, and they send sets to, again, you don't have to be large to be in the LAN. You just have to fit a demographic that isn't as spoken for, and they still will send the same amount of sets. And it's so gracious, and that's them supporting the community, in the best way that they know they can. And to my knowledge, I haven't really seen anyone like inactive per se get kicked or anything like that. Like, and they always talk about, whoever it is, higher ups talking to us, they're always saying, if you guys are having a problem in life right now, if we do find something wrong with your content or anything, Like, we will talk to you first and try to help you resolve whatever you're going through. We don't want to see you offboarded. We want to work with you. So like, all the credit to the Lego Ambassador Network. That's what they say, and that's what I've seen so far. They are like more gracious than I would be. Now, there are others in the community who have a separate experience, and that's on them to talk about, which some really talk about, you know? And yeah, I think the conversation around this would be lovely to talk about more, like we're all saying here.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
One of the main, and I think this is going to be my last question, unless the chat has more about LAN that they want to talk about. What does the discussion or workflow throughput look like when you get feedback from your community and then you push that up the chain back to LAN? What does that actually look like?
Great question there. There's a couple ways to do it. One, the Lego Ambassador Network is an actual website. I think that needs to be way more clear because I had no idea. So if you guys are confused about what I'm saying, just look up Lego Ambassador Network. You can read all these things I'm saying. There's like an open forum. You can make an account. You can be active. They want us to push that, honestly. Like, be active on the Lego Ambassador Network site. So anyone can go in there. And to my knowledge, you can just create, it's kind of like Reddit. You create a thread and be like, create post. Lego ambassadors need to be better at this. Post. And then it creates a comment thread people can just comment on. To my knowledge, that's how it works, because that's how ambassadors interact with each other on there. And
because you have a private forum for ambassadors.
I believe so, yeah. Okay. Like, there's private conversation going on all the time. Or if Lego ambassadors have a question to ask Lego, like, what do we do about this thing? Post. It's only to the recognized Lego fan media. Yep. Okay. So when we get a free set, we used to, this just was modified, but we used to have to physically go in and like report back how many views it got on different platforms that we did, all the platforms. And then we would need to, there's a whole section that talks about, and we still need to do this part, which is like talk about the set we received. So how we thought about it. It asks what your community thought about it. Like, what's the feedback? Just general feedback. So what I always did was, okay, I don't know, Lion Knight's Castle, okay, or R2D2, whatever. Let's do that. I will say, you know, I liked it. I thought price $100. It's okay. Once I built it, it was pretty cool. Has cool play features. Okay, my community, on the other hand, thought that the price was outrageous, right? Yeah. Most people in the comments, and it's a pretty gilded view because most people in the comments who take time to comment, those are probably the most hateful ones about it. But fair. I still report it, and I'll be like, every time at this point, it's like, price, nuh-uh. Like, price is not a big fan. You know, no one likes that. People thought maybe the other one looked better. People are confused why there's two on the same shelf at the same time. All those things, while being respectful to the builder of the set, because those people, like the master builders, might be looking at this review and being like, what can I change? What's the community talking about? People read these. And that's how that looks. If we have anything from the community, I've done this once or twice where someone will ask a great question. Why don't Lego ambassadors do this? Or all these people, there's a lot of ambassadors who are way more active in this website, and they will ask about, I don't know, someone's asked, like, how do we support the wildfires in LA? Or how do we go about this situation? Has anyone ever done this? What about TikTok being canceled? Can anyone give me advice on how to go from here? Yeah, that's the open forum. And then people from Lego will like comment, and they can even read what we're saying if we tag them. So there is direct link to Lego from the Lego Ambassador Network site, to answer your question.
Nice. Yeah. So you're filling out a form. The Lego Ambassador leaders, is it? Do you know if it goes to the Lego Ambassador leaders and they filter it upwards, or it's not really too clear where it goes from there?
It goes like, you just press submit, and they read it and then press like, this has been, they'll say like, your report has been accepted, or yeah, the thumbs up on it, right? I don't know what happens from that point, but they do say, even in the onboarding, when you write these messages, a lot of the times like the master builders will be looking at it. And I would too, like, if I made a set and I wanted to know what people thought about it, the best way I would think is going through, they probably have a system where you can look up the set number and be like, wow, these are all these written reviews from different communities. Cause that's what the ambassadors are. They are think of us as like channels. So my channel right here, literal, I'm a channel, but I'm a channel to everyone in this live stream
channel
right
of information.
now.
Exactly.
Channel information. And then I just submit it to Lego, and then they can read it and be like, Emmasaurus's channel is a little bit different. It's a different demographic than Brickmaster Harri's. Okay. So in that way, I think LAN is very efficient. That's the best way to do it. And that's why we always talk about my community. My community, it is the big word that is said around in LAN is like, what is your community? What do they do? And in your LAN application, you will have to say, what is your community? And everyone's always confused. Like, I don't know, my audience, they're compiled of these people, but they want to know that you are a thriving community, you know, supporting people. I'm supporting you guys. You're supporting me. And Lego likes to support that.
Yeah. Exactly. Real quick, Brickmate has a question. He says, do you think LAN has regional quotas? And while the answer is, I don't even know if it's regional quotas, but just to give you an idea, I'm going to share my screen real quick. Going on the LAN website, if I can get there effectively. This is the directory. This is publicly accessible on the Lego website. Find a group on the Find a Group tab. And there are many people in the EU, in the UK, in Spain. There's 7, and this is just filtered to, well, let me refilter. Just quote unquote LAN members, RLFMs. Resort that. So there's 141 people in Europe. Then there's 147 people in North America. So there's a lot of people all over the place. So I don't know if it's landlocked per se.
Landlocked?
Got him. So I hopefully that gives you a better idea to this information. Of course, all this is publicly accessible.
I don't think they have quotas, but I do think they would pick, personally, just looking in on LAN and as a business, I think they would be wise to pick someone from a different region compared to someone that, or a region that's overpopulated with ambassadors, if that makes sense. Yeah. That would just be me as a business.
Yeah.
If they're qualified. Yeah.
So I think that wraps up the LAN discussion. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in, because we'll kind of move over into the other side of the affiliate piece, working with local businesses, any sort of sponsorship programs you've been able to have, how that has sort of worked, and what you've learned along the way.
Yeah. I want to be respectful of your time. Are we doing okay?
Oh, yeah. No, we're doing great.
Okay, we're just having fun.
Yeah. And then once again, if you feel like you need to be somewhere, definitely let me know.
I'm good right now. Yeah, this is the stuff I enjoy talking about. I just think we all just need to be like upfront with each other and just say it how it is, right?
Open and honest.
Yeah, and I love Shy for that too. That guy will just, you know, that's how I want to be. I want to be like Shy. Anyways,
don't we all? I do too.
Yeah, we all aspire. So, biggest, I would say, sponsor or collaboration, partnership, whatever you want to call it. I would say more partnership. Like my bricks from last year, like shout out to them. They're a business I've bought before multiple times, and then I've been able to work with them. So working with them, I mean, has been wonderful. I've learned a lot, how to value my own views, like how to value what I bring to the table. That's the hardest thing for sure, is understanding how far you can push the limit of, I think I can earn a little bit more than that. I think I deserve to make a little bit more than that. I would also like to say you can't really barter with Lego either if it is a paid collaboration. At least if from what I've been offered, it's just, here's an offer. If you want it for this set amount, here you go. But with other brands, it's like sky's the limit. You can say, hey, I want to work with you. Here's what I can do. This is the budget. It's been really interesting working locally with Bricks and Minifigs. I'm not like sponsored by the main corporation. I just reach out to different Bricks and Minifigs. We have about 16 in a 50-mile radius.
That's I didn't know it was that many. That's a lot.
It's crazy. And I've thought, okay, let's just turn this into a viable thing, because I would go to Bricks and Minifigs Irvine, and this is again how I really created a following, is just showing what they had in the store, being a relatable fan in that way. Whoa, they have this old set. Whoa, they have this, and then I'll buy this or trade this. Trade videos, are its own separate thing. But then I realized, okay, I'm giving them so much free publicity. I better like charge for this. But it just is what it is. And it was very awkward to come to that decision. But when you have something really good, you should charge for it.
Get paid
You know?
for it. You know,
Yeah,
like the Joker said, if you're good at something, never do it for free.
exactly. And I'm inspired by the Joker, him and Shy. Yeah. Anyways, so to some bricks and minifigs, I would like write out email. I sent to a lot of different bricks and minifigs. I said, hi there, my name's Harry. I do this. I'm a RLFM, recognized Lego fan media. I have this many followers and I love bricks and minifigs and what they stand for. This wasn't coming from a place of just like cash grab. Like, let me go to recent local businesses. I was a big support and still am of bricks and minifigs and what they offer. It's kind of a hot topic. Maybe some aren't, but some businesses were like, yeah, okay, let's see what we can do. And I sometimes the price wouldn't be exactly what they wanted, and I would say, okay, we could do some store credit and some, you know, cash. Some stores just said, not right now, we're not in the way to do it. Totally understandable, because shout out to SoCal Bricks. Yeah.
Sweet, nice.
He works at Bricks Minifigs Irvine. He is like amazing, great friend to me, and he's in a lot of the videos too. So if you hear me talking about Lucas,
sweet.
yeah,
Nice.
and he's a great mock builder. So anyways, he knows what I'm talking about. But I've worked with a couple of different Bricks and Minifigs. I don't have a running. It was funny. I would like to clarify that at Bricks and Minifigs Irvine, I had a system where I would make some videos and I would get a little discount. As soon as I started charging some different or working with different stores and not just them, I actually told them, I was like, let's just cancel that, because I'm not going to be mainly working with you guys. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be respectful. And I also wanted to be able to say to people that I am not sponsored by these stores when I walk in. As soon as I walk in, I'm just a customer, unless I have a partnership that's paid with them going on.
Nice.
And yeah, Bricks and Minifigs as a whole has been great for my growth. Just, I think people enjoy seeing it, no matter how dramatic the video is with what I trade. Get ready for another crazy trade tomorrow. Yeah. That's people that, and Light My Bricks. Yeah, those have been some cool brands. But it's also been great to work with some like real brands. Whatnot is cool. Incogni, they're like a security website. That was like the most real one I did. And this is another example, is like, I told Incogni, they reached out to me and I said, hey, I would love to do this. I want this much for this many seconds of an ad in my video. And they said, well, your videos have been kind of fluctuating. You have some 10,000 views, some 50, some 100. And I'm like, dang it, you called my bluff. Okay. So I said, what about this? And they say, we can meet you in the middle. We'll do this. And I say, okay. This video that I got the Incogni sponsor, and that they can afford to pay the big bucks, I got like 380,000 views on it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have made way more if I just knew I would be getting that. Yeah. So they reached out at the beginning of this year and they said, we would love to work with you again. And I said, duh.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. And I tell them, I said, okay, well, judging by the, you know, how my last video with you went, I'm going to still ask for that same amount I did before that you turned down originally. I'm going to ask for that, and I'm not going to take any less. And they said, yeah, we only want to work with you for that amount we got you down to. And I said, okay, like see you later. You know, I'm sorry. I can't, although it is money and I would have taken it last year, you have to be confident and trust your process to be like, I'm not going to take that amount because I deserve more and I'm worth more. Although right now, it's like I'm making a video and I would love a sponsor for it to get a little more money. I don't want to hit them up and be like, hey, I'm back. I'll take that money. It's just degrading a little bit.
And
so
you're really devaluing yourself. And
exactly. And then next time they work with me, next time they're just going to keep asking for that same price. So I have to prove to them that, look, my last 3 videos got over 100K. Now I can really ask you for that. And they will say, yep, you proved to us you're right. So that's a whole different game inside of the game of social content creation.
And I feel like you've learned a lot in the past year, just with like those videos, you know, some of the videos pulling down the average, but also just negotiating with these companies that's big boy stuff. I mean, that's like real world. That's food on the table, paying the bills type of stuff.
The big Lego content creators out there, long form ones, who do collaborations with World of War tanks or whatever, you know, these big oh my gosh, you guys wouldn't, just the amount that these companies are willing to pay, and it's reasonable, because some of these channels get 1 million plus per video or 500,000 views plus. These businesses will pay. So it is a very viable future if you are a content creator. Full time is totally, and that's what I want to work towards. And I tell my family and Brittany's family, I always try to tell them, look, I'm not crazy. This is an actual planned out thing. I can get here. I just need to keep creating. And the more quality content I make, the more sponsors will want to work with me. That's going to bring in the big bucks, and there's my future guaranteed. Right.
Nice.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's huge. And like I talked about with Firebird last year, a year ago, 2020, at the beginning of 2024, the real money is in those partnerships, sponsorships, all that stuff. So like getting that down is very, very key, to say the least.
Big time.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes this year into 2025 with you kind of figuring out more of those and seeing what comes there. So that's really exciting too.
And with the cancellation of TikTok, that was another platform that paid you. And they actually paid a bit more than YouTube does for their shorts. So YouTube would pay you a certain amount. TikTok would probably pay you an extra quarter of what you'd make on TikTok, maybe a whole other half of what you make. And now with that gone, a lot of these content creators' revenue stream is being cut off. So it's unfortunate to think a lot of people's businesses will be affected. So,
which is crazy. I mean, and it's
crazy.
Definitely double-edged sword of like people trying to come to YouTube and all the viewers and content creators alike coming over to YouTube and just seeing. I want to almost put a line. Well, we can put a line in the sand right now or Monday or whenever the official
tomorrow
deport date is. Is it like?
Yeah.
I feel like so. Not to get. I feel like this might be the first time we've ever gotten semi-political on the channel, but. Could Trump not just like put an executive order out there and
I heard I saw
pause this whole thing?
I saw a post by the head guy from TikTok who's really well spoken. Like he was actually posting about how President or soon to be President Trump was working with them, and he was like, shout out to Trump for trying to work with us and make a deal. I don't know, maybe he keeps it, because if Red Note is gonna be the other big app, I don't see why you wouldn't just keep TikTok, because it's like,
who made Red Note?
Another China company.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
another one.
Because I mean, it's just the government was trying to ban TikTok to get rid of the whole China owns
influence,
this app. But now people are going to Red Note, so I'm like, if people are just doing that anyways, might as well just keep TikTok, because it's all these businesses. I don't know.
I didn't know about that other platform that's coming out, but.
It's actually in Chinese, though. You have to get like a...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Cooper says Red Note is actually owned by the Chinese government.
Yep.
Oh, which I guess for the most part, businesss, like everything is owned by the Chinese government.
I just saw a post. I'm not sure if it's real, but I heard that people on Red Note, like influencers who are part of the LGBTQ plus community, they are actually like... I heard that their accounts are being taken down because it doesn't go with what China believes at the moment or whatever. So
wow.
If that was the case, I don't understand why people would be on there, but I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. But I feel like kind of the last thought of TikTok and whatever is, I think what probably would happen is, TikTok would get banned until a further decision happens, and then they could come back is probably what would /
Well, I heard TikTok will stay. It's just going to stay on the app, or you can't download the app, but it's just going to stay on your phone unless you delete it. So your account won't be deleted. That's what I've heard. So you'll be able to like keep using it until it just keeps updating. You're not going to be able to update it.
Yeah. You can't get those further updates, and then it would be bugged out of existence.
Exactly.
Basically. Interesting.
Yeah.
Like the local internet and ISPs wouldn't like block that.
Let's see.
Somehow.
What's up, Ryan? Hi, Harry. But you can't access it. The app stays on your phone. Oh. Okay, well, his guess is as good as mine. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go. A real question. What advice would you guys give to someone who has had a bit of a success on Reels and TikTok, wanting to make the jump to Shorts and eventually long-form videos on YouTube? Asking for a friend. Wink. Take it away. Brickmaster Harri.
Well, I would say if you're finding success, Reels and TikTok, I would just say upload them to Shorts automatically. You know, just
to
do
see
it.
what happens,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
do it without a watermark on your video. You don't want it showing Instagram or TikTok bouncing around on YouTube because people can see that and they just instantly scroll past it because they just know you're re-uploading. But make it look like you're making it for YouTube Reels. Shorts? Yeah, everyone has a different name. The other interesting thing to note is that my content performs better on YouTube, but it doesn't perform as well on Instagram and TikTok. So each one has their own vibe. I'm sure you could tell this CPA is like YouTube is more, I would say my content is more vlogish style entertainment, right? TikTok is
Lifestyle.
TikTok is more you can talk to your phone and literally just be like personal with it and people will watch it the whole way through, especially for girls. Brittany will watch makeup creators just talking to their phone while they're getting ready, you know, and that goes viral. Instagram, I can't even tell. I don't know what goes viral
It's
on
so
there.
random.
I think it's just sounds, right? I mean,
yeah,
for
because I
sure.
mean, you've got the I don't even know. I kind of want to coin them like picture videos,
Yeah.
where it's just a picture. And Brick Fleet does this all the time with his drug related power miners videos.
Oh, okay. Like
I didn't want to say that word. I didn't know if I'd get like blacklisted or something,
You're flagged
or
on here,
demonetized right away,
Yeah.
instant demonetized. But like the pictures with the text and the music, and then it just those things blow up, or the 2-second videos that loop like within a second,
Right.
and it's just like the blink or just someone doing, and that just loops, and
Yeah.
it's just so random.
I will say too, for the people who think that putting like if you put hashtag shorts or any type of hashtag or like, well, I uploaded it twice and the second time I uploaded it, it got 5,000 more views, or it's just luck. Like some people get, that's all fake. You know, it has nothing to do with it. It's
I
just
can attest to that.
Yes, it just depends on how good your short is. How good the first 3 seconds you have to hook people. Big tip, the biggest thing I've said all night, if you have anything to hear for people getting good at shorts, whatever, is always start with like a hook. And in my videos, I will be like, you know, I fixed the big problem with the Superman mech. So instantly people are like, what problem? And then after that, I just kind of go throughout, be like, Lego sent me this thing, Lego da-da-da, I'm distracting you, here we go, lights and flashing, up until the last 3 seconds when I answer what the big thing was. So just drag people along, but make sure they're entertained, because you don't want to clickbait, be like, this is the nastiest Lego piece ever, and you never talk about it. You got to figure it out. But the first 3 seconds will dictate if people stay, right? And when you end your short, always make sure, always, and this is why I keep them 30 to 40 seconds now, just end it when people don't expect it, okay? Because I would always keep it till like 60 seconds all the way till, and I would just be talking just to fill time. But now I'll be like, this Lego set does this, and this is that, cut. So people expect me to keep talking, but it's just cut, like you're cut off. That way people watch all the way through. YouTube sees people watch all the way through your short, and they'll push it to more people because YouTube's going to assume this is a great short. Someone watched it all the way through. So you're kind of tricking the algorithm a little bit, if that makes sense.
No, that's a good tip. But I was gonna say that's a good topic. That's a good tip. Bit of advice, but the topic was the wrong word. Good bit of advice. And then even, of course, obviously you're not, when you cut yourself off, you're still conveying all the information that you wanted to. It's just like all of it plus a little maybe, then stop. Which I've never tried that before. But I have noticed when I tried to say at the end of like, let me know in the comments what you thought about this.
Yeah.
Sometimes that works. Less often than not.
No,
then,
if
of course,
it's gonna go
when
good,
you throw in the make sure to like and subscribe to see more. Like, dude, in a short, do not do that.
Yeah. Like
never.
A second. You can't waste 1 second if you want your short to be successful. Do not say, let me know what you guys. I used to do that all the time, but if you click your stats, you will see like your chart kind of flatline. And as soon as you talk about, what do you think about, it just drops. That means people click off right when you stop talking about the good stuff. So keep it on the main topic. And I will say too, if you're making a review, right? If I have this thing, I would not say, I just got the set, like, check it out. I would not be like, here's a review of it, because no one except Lego fans might watch it. I would pick an aspect of this thing, and okay, here's a cool aspect, like this thing flips forward, right? Okay, this thing has the coolest play feature out of Bionicle, and then go into, I just got this new thing and check it out. It's really cool. It has this feature on the back. You can click that. That's how it works. Cut. And people don't know what hit them by the time you're done.
And then they have to rewatch it, figure out. Then they also go into the comments to see if other people, what they thought about the thing.
Yes.
So that forcing that engagement, convincing people they need to engage. Right. And then one thing I've learned with my shorts in compositing the minifigures, I sort of thought in my mind of what I want to see is I want to see the finished product. I want to get all those glamour shots, all those beauty shots. I just want to see how crisp the finished product looks.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want that. People don't want to see the elongated shots of the finished product. Right. They want to see the process.
Right.
When you're building, and if you think about it, it makes sense. People want to see the process and then just a little bit of that finished product. So in my first couple of Deadpool shorts, of course, I know I didn't get lucky with the first one, but it was just the right timing.
You didn't?
And
oh, you did get lucky.
No, I'm not going to say, like, I did not get lucky, but in some ways I did, because if I were to make a short like that now, I would make it not completely differently, but a bit differently. So all that to say, the last like 5 seconds are just glamour shots of the minifigure.
Right.
Whereas I wouldn't do that now for these exact reasons that we've explained. You're losing people. People are clicking away.
Yeah.
And fortunately, it was novel enough at the time because the video had just come out. Okay. So that people were more interested than ever before to look at Deadpool. So that helped. But making that now and even remaking that, if I knew everything I do now, it could have been a 6-7 million short if I made it maybe how I do now. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, learning all those things is really important. So hopefully that helps give you some ideas on shorts.
Yeah.
If you're coming over to YouTube. And then, I mean, to sort of finish that thought with the rest of his question being getting into long form, you would know that better than me, but just finding good ideas, making a great thumbnail, having a sort of clicky title, depending on, and I feel like everyone has their own personal line of what's clicky versus clickbaity.
Yes.
And it's important to find
as long as
line.
you talk about what you're talking about, it's not clickbaity, in my opinion,
Here's an interesting question. Also, would you recommend, in a way, milking a successful idea continuously? Never do that. It's so bad for your channel. You will not. I said that ironically because I have a bunch of Deadpool.
I zoned out for a second while you were saying that, and then I realized what you were saying, and I was like, wait, what? Yeah.
I mean, it can, but just, I would say, be prepared to put yourself in a hole. If you don't think you can get out of that hole or that niche that you put yourself in, and you don't mind that, I would say don't, probably is the better answer.
Because you grow your audience to just expect that.
Yeah. Because now with me, Deadpool does really well. So I have to convince those viewers that they actually want a Witcher. They want to see a Witcher character. They don't want to see just Deadpool anymore. So
exactly. But keep the format, like what format works. Do not keep the same over and over and over topic. So Star Wars, right?
Correct.
I did Star Wars content all day, like beginning of last year, 2023 too. And I knew I had to diversify, but I kept the BAM content. You know what I mean? So the bricks and minifig stuff, because every time I go into bricks and minifigs, it's new. Although I know people will enjoy the process of going to bricks and minifigs. Yeah, I could literally do whatever I want in that aspect. So I keep the bricks and minifigs format going. Yeah,
for sure. And even to that respect, I figured out the style, the format of, I can create a minifigure, compile it, and people are interested in the process. Yeah. So it's just a matter of, once again, the content is, or the workflow is still the same as a long form.
Right.
You've got to get the right idea. Title. So I've actually found out, and this is something, this was a myth, I guess, for shorts. I didn't think the thumbnail was as important as it actually is. You can get a lot of views from people scrolling through YouTube on their phone or computer and clicking on it because the picture itself mixed with the title is intriguing to them.
I would say that was something one of the first tips and advice I gave to anyone. I would be like, make every shot of your short something you could make a thumbnail with. Because that's the other thing is when I'm scrolling through trying to find the best little image of the short to create the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, man, there's nothing really good. But I always try to have a crystal clear image of whether a figure or like a lot of color going on, but recognizable that it's a Lego. Because if I'm just holding this and this is the thing, like no one knows what this is. But if I'm, I don't know, like if I'm pointing to this right there, that, that's an interesting thumbnail because everyone's like, that's Lego, that's a gear. What does it do?
Yeah. How do you feel about the people that for the last couple of frames of their short, they'll make it the thumbnail and it's like, has the Lego logo, has a picture of a set box or something like, I know you don't do that, but do you have any strong feelings about that?
I don't, but I know what you mean. Some people want to have like an edited thumbnail but I just try to make it organic because the more organic your short looks, if it's highly edited thumbnail and stuff, people are going to expect kind of what's behind there. It's probably not what the thumbnail is, but if I just show a picture of me showing something, people will be like, okay, well, he showed this in the video. Let me check it out, Yeah. So you want to be upfront and honest because people are clicking a short to just know what they're getting kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Let's see. Lego Beam Ryan had a question. Do you think branching to other themes is successful for your shorts? Have you have branched to Exoforce, et cetera, or would you recommend focusing more on a core theme?
Where's that question?
It's a little farther up. I mean, I can kind of start with it of like.
Oh, okay. No, I see it on the screen.
Yeah, I think we've sort of answered it, but basically, as long as you figured out a format that can work, theoretically, you can plug almost any relevant theme.
Yeah.
Or you got to kind of make the slider of you got to make this more interesting if it's a more niche theme, or basically trick your audience into watching it.
Man, I'm fascinated by what themes work because I enjoy doing shorts like that now where I just have so many different formats now, whether it's looking at an older set in the review style, I do newer ones, but people will look at agents. I mean, I forget all the different names, but yeah, you know what I mean? Just Aqua Raiders. Alien
Raiders, Power Miners.
So I'm actually going to Bricks and Minifigs Pasadena tomorrow. They got in a ton more sets, sealed stuff. So I'm making a vlog and everything. They're going to have Mars Mission. I'm stoked. I'm going to buy some Mars Mission stuff because that's like something everyone loves. And then they have a bunch of sealed Bionicle. I'm going to buy some sets that, like I'm working with them. I'm getting some store credit as payment, but I'm going to buy some sets with that so I can make videos on. And then I know people will watch those videos and I'll make money from them. So technically I'll be getting some payment from this collaboration with Bricks and Minifigs Pasadena over time, plus some free Lego from it. You know what I mean?
Sweet.
So it works for me. I'm just going to continue to do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any questions about content related or anything like that, feel free to drop those in. I know you guys have been doing a really good job of that. Greatly appreciate that kind of interaction.
We're all just chatting it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as we're kind of winding down, I want to sort of highlight, or you can highlight, I guess, any of the main highlights, things, the best of 2024, if you want to call it that. Like, what are
the main highlights?
What would be in your highlight reel for 2024? I feel like we're still early enough into 25 we can talk about last year.
Well, I'll just talk content-wise because personal-wise, I mean, like meeting everyone at conventions, but content-wise, I think last year definitely like my most successful YouTube video ever. That was really cool watching. Every time I post a long form, I'm just watching that like a hawk for the first 2 weeks, and it's great watching that go up. That was major success. And then last year, another highlight was kind of the last couple months. I went through the first couple months of the year, like the money I was making, was like, let's just say at the end, like the final 4 months, I really hit my stride where I had the perfect format. I figured it out for shorts, consistent views. Important thing I'm proud of is like I get consistent views on shorts. It's not like I just post and 5,000 views, 6,000 views, a million, 20,000, 30. I'm like, I found a format that works where it's 100,000 plus every time, a couple million mixed in. And with that, I like quadrupled what I made in the first like 5 months of the year. And I'm still hitting that now. Maybe quintupled. I don't know. It really was a massive change. And then at the last like December, I made the most out of shorts in general. And that just goes to show like the most views came in. And I'm just so proud of like, I put all that effort in, and I like literally wrote down everything that works and crafted the perfect format that works for me.
Nice.
You know, and that was just really cool seeing like the outcome and being able to afford Christmas gifts for my family, and just being a family man outside of being a family man that's supported by this hobby or this job with Lego. It's like the craziest thing. I never would have thought as a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Any other highlights from 2024?
Man, a lot of highlights you're asking for here. I mean, the whole year, getting a plaque, I guess.
True, like, yeah. When did you hit that? Was that September?
October? That was October, I think, because I got the plaque in November. I mean, the biggest highlight was proposing and getting engaged, but I didn't post about that, you know. No. I still wrote the trip off, though. Don't tell anyone.
Well, you just told the IRS right now.
I know. No, I didn't write the whole trip off. I did look for some Lego over there and filmed one thing, so it actually works. But learning how to be a businessman, that's a highlight. Big highlights right there, yeah.
You want to talk about Brick World at all?
Do I? What about it?
Favorite person you met at Brick World Chicago 2024?
Well, I met everyone for the first time. I met everyone. Yeah, I met CPA, Firebird. I met everyone. So there's
Tiago. Did you meet TD?
Yeah, I met everyone, bro.
MKM,
I met Miles Turner. I met
Miles Turner.
There's not one person I would say was the best because they all were the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And next year is going to be awesome. Can't wait.
I can't make it to Brick World. Public announcement: I will not be at Brick World 2025.
No.
Whoops.
Everyone is crying.
I know. Brittany's graduating. Got to go to that graduation. You know.
See, now you just blamed her for this.
No. I'm saying I want to be there. So I want to be there more than Brick World. I'm sorry, guys.
We'll forgive you. We'll forgive you for being, like you said, a family man.
You know me.
So 2026. I know you can't commit to 2026 yet, but
I'll be there.
Do you think you'll be there?
I'm moving, dude. Yeah, like I'm moving to Tennessee next month. So, and then, I mean, we didn't even talk about this, but I'm gonna be traveling back and forth to Florida because that's where Brittany's staying for a year until we get married. Yep. So it's just like I'm going back and forth. I'm gonna go to all these stores, all these Lego stores. I'm gonna be traveling around, like, so I'm gonna need recommendations of different places to go. I'd love to do different meetups, you know, different store events, different areas. This year is going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do in-person things, you and me.
Dude,
I'll drive up to you. Yeah.
No, I'm super excited.
Or drive down wherever you're located. I'll drive over there.
Yeah, you know, north, south, east, or west. That'll be one direction.
Just drive. I'll just drive.
So,
yeah. I know, Scott, I can't surf there, but I can wakeboard. So
that's true. Hey, they probably have some place that has like a
they're making wave pools and stuff. They don't have one yet, but they will.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. And we already talked about with what's next for 2025 as far as goals.
Yep.
2 to 3 videos every month.
Mm-hmm.
Shorts, probably a couple a week. Is that your normal output?
Yeah, a couple a week, but it's every other day.
Nice.
Every other day, bro, with that Disney Channel flow. Anyone who grew up watching Jake Paul would know that.
Not me.
Yeah. So mainly monetary. That's like the biggest goal I have monetarily.
Correct. Monetarily.
Yes. Is I just want to prove to myself and just my family, not that they're looking at me. I just want to be able to be like, this is something I can support, you know, my family, like me and Brittany. We're getting married this year. There's so much to be looking forward to. It's just, yeah.
It's going to be a big year.
It's a big year.
A lot of stuff going on.
And for that reason, maybe I won't succeed in my goals because there's so much going on, but we will see. It's a goal to have.
Do you have a subscriber goal?
Nah,
for the end of 2025.
but I think with the way my videos are going now, I think something I should push for is definitely at least 225,000.
Okay.
I would say 250,000, but 225. That's 100,000 from now.
Yeah, it looked. Based on your face, it looked like you were either between 200 or 250. So
I'm gonna say 250 because 100,000 from now, I feel like, because I'm getting about.
Should have put you in the hot seat. Which one's the hot seat?
What do you mean?
There you go. You're in the hot seat now.
Oh man,
I had to cycle through the shots.
Oh no. Yeah.
250,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I didn't meet my quota this year. I said 150 by the end of last year, and I only had 120. Yeah.
All right, I'll take you off.
Thank you.
We've publicly shamed you enough for not hitting 150.
I know.
No, but no, I mean 200 easy, right?
Yeah,
200 easy.
That's 80,000 more, and with shorts, that's the only reason I'm so confident. It's just yeah.
Hey, you figured it out.
Yeah,
you figured out your format, and it's the cool thing is it's I don't even know what the right it feels timeless. Like no one's not gonna want to consume that kind. That's just how I feel about it. Like it's entertaining. It's not trendy.
Yeah,
it's just
me.
It's just simple entertainment, and I feel like simple entertainment is always going to do well.
Right. Thank you.
And it's content theme agnostic, meaning you could plug any Lego theme into that.
Exactly.
You could even plug any content into that. Like it wouldn't even have to be Lego.
It's fascinating. People ask me, my friend's been asking me, and this is a point I'm making in my next video. And they're like, are you ever going to make any other content besides Lego? And I was like, well, I kind of already am, because Lego encompasses everything. So I am making content about Star Wars. I'm making content about Marvel or DC. I'm making content about Lego plants, like plants in general, Jaws, so many IPs and franchises. It's just Lego's the medium. And that's why these big videos get millions of views, like TD's videos. Lego is the medium for storytelling. And if I can channel it in my shorts and like do Lego skateboarding or Lego surfing, Lego whatever, that's what's going to get a lot of views. So I need to channel that this year. And with that, I think I'll definitely be able to hit like 250.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, I'm super excited for 2025 for the both of us.
Yeah.
See what happens. I'm also very excited to see what other future stream topics we can come up with, talking about LAN, talking about specific content, just all this great kind of stuff. So
yeah,
very excited. Any final words for our great viewers? We had a lot of people, a lot of cool people hanging out.
Shout out to the chat. I mean, making it interesting and sticking by, and I hope everyone learned something good. And
you'll have to let Firebird know that this stream held more viewers. This is this is the most viewed stream for, as of now, consistent viewers for 2025.
Whoop, whoop.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So next stream has to be even bigger. There you go. I know.
Now me and Firebird have to hop on. Yeah.
Then they'll double, right?
We'll just have one of our
will bring your crews.
Yeah.
So, well, once again, thank you so much for your time today. Great discussion.
Yeah.
I hope everyone watching learned a lot, and I hope you'll stick around, learn more on the next stream, whenever that will be. So hopefully having something not next week, but the week after. As many of you, some of you probably know, I am an actual CPA, so I'm in my busy season right now. I put in about 64 hours this past week. So if I look a little dead, it's probably because I am.
I was gonna say you look pretty bad right now.
Like my eyes are like sunken into my head.
No.
But yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching, and we will see you all in a couple weeks. Appreciate it.